Pull up a chair and listen to the tales of Exandria. For those first time listening or who don't know, this is a Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition campaign played using the Tal'Dorei Campaign setting. As for the rest of you, welcome back. Last we left off our troop of adventurers. They traveled towards Echo Keep, deciding to break for camp just a few miles away. As they done so, a steady rain began to pour as thunder rolled across the mountains. Coming up with a plan to scout the keep, its forces, and what may be awaiting them, Quincy and Telrin made their way to the keep under the guise of an invisibility spell. It was here that Telrin was discovered as his clockwork dragon armada was shot down, and he himself was shot in the rear by arrows as he fled the keep. Quincy and Tel were making their way back to camp, discuss what they found, the soldiers, the cultists, and a new plan was formed. Katsu and Adanaros, needing more information, decide to fly using the Broom of Flying, also under the guise of an invisibility spell, over the keep to reveal any remaining forces. It is here that Adanaros and Katsu were able to surmise defenses, weak points, and report back where a proper plan could be made. The plan that was decided was to turn almost everyone else invisible except for Mira and Sebastian, as they would be riding to the gate using the guise of another evil cultist. As Mira displayed these traits, it all seemed a bit too natural for her. However, the plan worked, but a little too well, as the cult of the Crushing Depths opened the gates and allowed Mira and Sebastian to enter, the rest of you quickly behind, still invisible, following. Mira was taken to their leader, a drow wearing a jeweled eye patch, who was overlooking a battle mat depicting the various territories of Tal'Dorei. Quincy also snuck into this chamber, still invisible, trying to look at the map as Mira convinced the drow cultist leader to reveal the location of the Tower of Rancor. Mira was so convincing that not only was a location revealed, but as well as a passage that their cult and spies use when they traverse to and from the tower's location. You all made your way out of the keep, surprised at how convincing Mira was as a fellow cultist. And this is where we're going to pick off today. All right. Discord is live, so everybody should be able to talk.
Hello.
Yep. Last session definitely happened.
Mira with that nat 20. I bet you without that nat 20, we probably would have gotten into a fight.
Or if Quincy would have got stuck in the doors.
That was so close. I'm so happy that Katsu reminded me about inspiration.
Think thin!
Man, if you weren't gonna do it, I was.
Because you really didn't want to get caught.
Yeah, and you can give your inspiration points to other players. Always remember that. And a lot of you are maxed out on inspiration as well.
Yeah, I'm maxed out, I know.
You're not the only one. So,
right.
But we do have a new sound for this session, which we're going to be trying out. So,
Hooray.
all right.
If I recall, I did take a look at the map, though, so... Did I gather information of where we're supposed to be heading? Like, what direction?
Yes. Well, the map is basically a battle map of Tal'Dorei. They had various flags and different colored flags, multiple flags situated on various areas. So it wasn't like a detailed area of, let's say, the Lucidian coast, where everybody else is located here. So it doesn't go into that depths, but it would maybe mark certain landmarks or points of interest to this cult.
All right. Katsu, you were going to say something. Sorry, friend.
I forgot what I was going to say.
Happens all the time.
I love you,
Althea said that they're having issues connecting to Steam right now, but they'll get on as soon as they can. So, I'm not invisible anymore, I hope.
Well, after you leave the area of the keep, and you only had about 15 minutes or so of invisibility left anyway.
Cool. When we get out of eye shot and earshot and everything shot of that fort and everything it stands for, I'm going to pull out my journal and then I'm going to see if I could try to remember that map and sketch it out.
Okay.
What would you like me to roll, friend?
Well, you can sketch out where some of the flags are. First, I want you to make an intelligence check to see how much of it you actually remember.
Oh god, intelligence. Something she's not good at.
This will be fun. Hello.
Natural 20!
Ow!
Yeah.
Alright then.
Alright, so you start quickly...
Can y'all hear me?
Can hear you.
We cannot hear you at all.
Alright, give me just a minute. I'm getting things set up. Steam decided to crap out. I had to crash it. Back up.
Alright.
No, take your time.
So
what happens?
You start, just from memory, start trying to draw where you saw the different colored flags. Just quickly doodling on the map. Just, you make a, flat little map of Tal'Dorei in your, your little book, and just start kind of scribbling as quickly as you can before you lose the memory of it.
Do I basically write down everything that I saw, which wasn't that much to begin with?
Yeah, it was your cursory glance. Now, what the significance all this has, you have no idea.
That is perfectly fine. At least I got it. At least my memory didn't betray me. I will show the map to Katsu, Telrin, Althea, and Adonaros once I have it sketched out.
Okay.
And then on the map, he did point to a direction of where we needed to go, correct?
Yes, and even a path to go there, a path that their cult uses.
Okay, I will sketch. I will say I sketched that out as well, and I will tell them about this path and where we're supposed to be going.
And how far away is that from where we currently are, Dave?
That is, using that trail, it's going to be a little over a day's journey. But without that trail, it would have been a few days going through the valley, which is not really hospitable nor tame by any standards. So this path is actually quite safe, which is why it saves you quite a bit of time.
It's good. Not dying would be preferable.
Not dying is always good.
Turn off the smoke alarm. What? How do you have a smoke alarm? Those aren't even invented yet.
That was my phone.
So who wants to take the lead, or do we want to rest first? I don't even
I
think we
thought it
need
was
to
like,
rest.
it's like mid-morning or something like that.
Well, my character has damage on her sheet, so we might need to rest.
And considering it's about a day's travel away, resting would be a good thing.
Yeah, I'm gonna vote for a rest if anyone is hurt and or has expelled spell slots, which I'm sure people have because of invisibility. That would be a good idea.
Alright, it is still raining. Whatever storm is coming over the mountains is starting to get a little stronger. Though you'll be a little wet.
Can we wait till we're at least like an hour or two away from the keep we just left and then rest?
Well, your camp was about 3 hours away from the keep.
No, it's like 3 miles away, which is like an hour, I think.
So do you want to go back to your camp, or did you want to make a whole new camp?
Well, we already have a camp set up. I don't see why we should not use it.
I mean, assuming we didn't break it down, but yeah.
Alright, well, you make your way back to your camp. As you could expect, most of your makeshift tents, your little campfire, all that is waterlogged.
Yeah, that's inconvenient.
Oh, well, I'm not going to be able to find anything to build another one, so...
We definitely won't be able to build a fire.
No, that's obvious. I was talking about, like, finding stuff to build another tent. I turn to the others and I go, how willing are you to sleep on the wet ground?
Wouldn't be the first time.
Not the worst. Not the worst we've been through.
She looks at Tower and goes, I'm fully aware that it's not the worst you've been through, you bloody oaf.
And he just returns that with a cheeky grin.
Any objection from the other two people? Answer, Heidi?
Say that again.
Any objections?
I was checking some of my spells. I don't have anything that can, fix this.
Fix the dampness of the place?
Yeah, that's right. I still have one spell slot, so I mean we can march on for a little while at least.
And then Dave throws a random encounter at us because fuck you.
Can we find a wayward pine or anything like that? Is this a somewhat forested area?
It's lightly with that. This was mostly open hills going towards the keep. And they still have a few inches of kind of rolling fog across the ground. But the rain has picked up since you first went to the cultist.
Okay, so there's no clumps of trees that would presumably be drier than anywhere else.
Another thing that would provide significant shelter from the storm.
I personally don't mind sleeping on that wet ground, so it's up to other people.
I guess I can roll and see if I could find anything dry.
Go, survivalist, I believe in you.
Make a survival check.
I'll help him, so give him an advantage.
But you've already rolled your survival.
Oh, that was. Oh yeah, I did. Shit, I forgot. Okay, yeah, go for it.
I'm gonna cast guidance on myself to help me find some stuff.
All right.
So 14.
So as you're going around, kind of searching the area, hoping to find, something that still hasn't been waterlogged from, 24 hours of persistent rain. Though your companions are trudging through some of the mud, the water, some of them flying on a broom. You will go to a cluster of roots thinking that maybe you can, this was on the side of the rock that maybe would not have a lot of moisture, but as your hand makes contact with it, you can feel that the root itself is pretty soaked with water. You get the idea that pretty much this whole area, being as sparse as it is with over a day's worth of rain, you're not very confident in finding anything that's going to be dry.
I shrug and look to the guys. Well, I can't find anything either.
Well, now, let's see if my elven eyes can spot anything.
You get
It's
guidance.
not likely, but sure. Guidance is what, a D4? Or...
Yeah.
I believe that's the exact same roll as someone else got earlier, so no.
No, I had more because
He had a bonus.
I had.
Yeah.
But the dice are the same.
Yeah, it's not enough to make a difference.
Yeah, you're
See,
kicking around the dirt and the mud, looking around, and pretty much the same thing. Even the small little rocks and boulders here are just everything's just wet.
I tie myself to the broom and sleep while I'm floating.
I got a feeling that's not how it works.
Yeah, I know.
Are there any trees nearby that I can climb into and just sleep in? Because rain doesn't really bother me.
I mean, you can, but it's still wet in the tree. Rain is still pouring through the little bit of the
Wait.
tree.
Wait a minute.
Are we gonna stop for a long rest or a short rest?
What do you guys need for your? What do you guys need for your spell slots?
Well, I mean, he said it's over a day away, so it's going to be a long rest.
Okay.
But I do have something that might help here. Does anyone have a blanket?
I have a cloak.
That might do. Could we use some rope, a nearby tree, and some cloaks? We could all use all our cloaks. We should use to create like a lean-to.
That would be good. I'm not wearing a cloak. I have a big fancy hat, which you're not taking off my head. I'll fucking stab you.
Right, no one said to do that. Thank you, Mr. Violent.
Don't touch the hat. Important safety.
Yeah.
But if most of us have cloaks. We should be able to create some sort of shelter. It's not going to be the greatest shelter.
Okay, I think we're overthinking this. Is there just set up camp. Pick a good place that's not completely waterlogged, even though everything is damp at the very least, and set up watch and throw down bedrolls and
Sorry.
Alright, so going with Althea's lean-to plan, you start taking cloaks, some rope, the tree that Tal'Dorei was going to use, and you try to make this makeshift shelter just at least to stay out of the rain for a bit. Now, if you guys are going to take a long rest here, who are the three that are going to be on watch?
I'll be on watch.
Yeah,
because
I'll
I
say-
need to rest.
Althea can take first watch because she's got all her spells right.
Alright, for those that are
I'll
going to be
also
taking watch, just roll your perception checks.
Oh.
Oh! Oh!
Holy!
21, a 20, and a 20.
Alright.
Beautiful.
So, in this storm here, as you're, each of you taking your respective watches, while it does make nice little ambient sounds there, it also helps to amplify things that may be walking or moving, even in the distance a little bit. The rain doesn't quite drown it out, so, like, you may see a deer just kind of strolling about, trying to find some shelter of its own. But because of the open plains, it also makes it easier to see other things approaching as well. So, if it wasn't using some sort of magic to obfuscate its presence, anything natural here, you've been able to spot dead on any of the movement, the very sparse wildlife, but you have seen them here. Outside of that, though, thankfully, not even people from the keep have come out this far to explore or discover your camp. So you've managed to sleep through the storm here with almost no interruption.
I don't like the keyword almost.
I need to go get water. This cough is too bad. I'll be back.
That's fine.
Let's see. Rest. All right, so you wake
You
up.
said-
Mhm.
Okay, yeah, go on.
No,
I was
I'll
gonna
just-
say during my watch, you said there were deers around.
There was like a deer out in the distance. It was it was running to try to find shelter from the rain.
I was gonna see if I could snipe it, but nah.
All right, so you wake up feeling refreshed, as refreshed as you can be anyway, with the makeshift lean-to, the weather as it is. You know where the tower is supposedly located, in the Ariat summit, the mountain range to your west. And you have a path, a journey to go there, going through the Ariat summit itself.
excellent. When we're all ready, let's proceed on the path.
Let's go.
All right. Let's see here.
Adonarus will fly on the ground and he will be conspicuously dry and warm.
Okay. All right. So as you all start to travel across this plain toward the Ariat summit, keeping at the base, you find what looks to be the path that they were mentioning. Path that seems to lead into various caverns of the area summit itself. As you all begin to trek through here, for those of you without dark vision, how do you intend to see?
I cast light on my crossbow. I'm pretty sure I'm the only one here without dark vision.
No, I don't have.
I'm back.
Okay.
But luckily, I have a familiar that has dark vision, and I could actually have her perch on my shoulder and look through her eyes.
Or see for you. Not the explosive. No.
So as you cast light on the bow and you start all traveling through these twisting, winding corridors here, why don't y'all make another survival check? Because there are different leading branches to see which way, because they didn't really point out which tunnels on here that you needed to take.
Can I cast
Guidance?
guidance again?
Absolutely.
Got a 16 on my survival.
$18.
All right. And
I got 8.
wow, these caves are fascinating.
It's just caves, right? Is there anything unusual about 'em?
Well,
I mean, have you ever been in a cave? Caves are fascinating.
Okay,
Yeah,
who's echoing?
So the one who
Dave.
always echoes.
Everybody, pretty much. No, not all caves are fascinating. Some are just normal.
Cave.
well, what goes on for this one here, in terms of what's different, unusual about it, it's very natural looking. I mean, you got your stalactites, stalagmites going through here, bits of mushroom and other fungi growing where there's, enough moisture for them to grow. But the various tunnels and offshoots that splinter off is quite interesting. It's for natural caverns, some of these don't appear to be made by, water erosion. It's almost as something else. Some other natural force made this. Some of these tunnels. Katsu seems to be leading you to the right because you're feeling the colder air from the outside with that. So you're knowing he's not leading you deeper into the bowels of the earth with that. So he seems to be keeping you on the right track. However, during this, I want you all to make a dexterity saving throw as the tunnel itself starts to shudder after a lightning strike. And some of the rocks begin to fall from the ceiling.
Well, I think with a 22, Althea did well.
Yeah, just a bit.
I don't know. I got 60.
I got a 17.
I got a 9.
Job.
17.
All right.
So probably just me that got hit with this.
Well, yes and no. So, Quincy, you're going to take 15 points of damage.
Ooh.
The rest of you are going to take 7 points of damage just from falling debris. However, during this cave-in, which does collapse the entirety of the tunnel that you're in from behind, Billadin, Mira and Sebastian were trapped on the other side.
Because conveniently, their players were not pleasant.
Conveniently.
Yes. So they are no longer with you on this journey as of right now.
Oh, well, they'll catch up.
Okay, that echo's starting to actually get really bad now.
Yeah, I've never actually heard echo before anywhere near like this.
It doesn't go up on the stream, and I don't hear the echo. And
Yeah, because it's coming from you specifically. We can all hear it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like actually super bad.
Apparently, you leaving and coming back made it reset. It's like a gradual. It starts to get worse over time type of thing. So that's weird.
All I can suggest is we find another chat client other than Discord, because it seems to be a problem with Discord.
Well, I mean, it seems fine now. I mean, there's just a slight one now.
So
it's almost like it's picking that up over your speakers.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's impossible because that comes in through my headset.
Yeah, but doesn't your computer like pump out all your audio to the stream?
It does, but it's not. There's an actual soundboard that separates them through virtual inputs. So
weird.
And that's not the issue because we've played with that before, and that wasn't it.
Yeah, I mean, I've never heard the echo before, not like this anyway. But I mean, it seemed to correct itself when you left and came back. So I don't know.
Look, it's not showing up in the stream. Who cares?
So
yeah.
All right. Let's see. So yeah,
so I suppose that this rubble is a bit too thick for us to just pry apart. Not that we will, but
well,
we can't just move it out of the way to get to them.
Yeah, you could try, but there's no telling how long it would take with that.
Quincy looks back at the others and goes, well, we could try to get to our friends, or we can just pray that they make it to us.
Can we talk? Can we hear them talk?
I mean,
anything at all?
they're probably dead, so I think we should just move on.
They weren't caught in the rock slide. They were caught on the other side of the rock slide.
You don't know that.
Yes, we do. The game master said we were separated. I assume that means we saw it happen.
Okay, one, if they're under that rock slide, they're dead. Two, once we get to the place we're going, we have a sending stone where a ship will be coming. We can just tell them to pick up everyone on the other side of the cave. So let's just move on.
And hey, wait a minute! I just realized something. I'm the only original party member. That means I have seniority.
Oh dear.
You're all screwed now.
Oh dear.
Like I take orders from you.
Yeah, I was about to say, like, as if I would be willing to take orders from you.
Well, so far, let's see. I've pulled people's fannies out of the fire more than once.
Bye.
Quincy
Katsu starts walking away.
I mean, Quincy doesn't even take orders from me. Why would you think she'd take orders from you? Mm-hmm.
Quincy's just going to follow Katsu as we walk away.
Well, you know what, Katsu? You're an ass, but go ahead, lead on.
He gives a thumbs up.
And after this, I'll be talking to Billidan, and he'll be dealing with you. Because if he doesn't, then I'm walking. And actually, Althea is completely serious. She's not going to adventure with somebody who is that dismissive of her constantly.
Interesting.
Forgive me, is a leader even truly required at this point?
No, it's not that. It's this has been building for a while.
Oh no, this is in character too, though. Adonaris is in character. He's like,
It's a little more than that.
Althea is kind of the only one that tries to assert her authority every now and then. So
And
she's the only
Katsu's
one
been
that
a
gets to-
complete asshole to me since he joined up. And his
Okay.
last character was an asshole to me too.
is it still?
No, you just got mad
it's
at
dark
him
in here,
because
Dave?
he killed that guy.
So, moving forward,
Indeed.
So I need a light source. Oh yeah, by the way, the reason why Narthra is not killed by the landslide and I took damage is because I used the ward to shield her from the slide.
Clever move.
Arcane Ward for the win.
I'm just going to use
That's a
a
good in-game
level-
reason why she's not killed.
I'm going to use a level 1 Cure Wounds on myself real quick.
So do we have a
Not
light
bad.
source?
Yeah, I'm your light source, my crossbow.
Okay, cool. That works for me. So we continue to make our way out of the cave to our destination.
Now, if Althea wanted to be kind, she would draw Discord, and then everybody would have a light source too.
Right now, Althea is not in a kind mood.
Now, is that Katsu's fault, Quincy's fault, or both?
I'll throw up
This
some
is just
dancing
moving.
lights.
It's Mirror's fault. It's always Mirror's fault.
Adonaris will throw up some dancing lights, Dave.
All right, so Anaris, you start throwing up these little orbs, and these blue lights start hovering in the air, illuminating the caverns as Katsu continues to lead you on towards the outside of the summit once more. This time you find yourself up, when you go out, you're on a small ledge, about 5-6 feet across, and you are... It didn't seem like you're traveling that long through the caverns, but you're traveling long enough to where you're a couple hundred feet up from the ground. And you see this path snake away around the area at summit to some of the little crags and valleys within the mountainside itself. None of them leading back into any cavernous areas, except for this one, which looks like it may be the source of your destination. This cavern entrance looks to be about 15 feet in height, about 8 feet in width.
Something tells me that's the place.
Looks like it.
Now, thankfully, the path, even with the constant rain, while it is slick, there's enough of the path where you can hug the side of the mountain here, and you don't really slip too much going up. There's enough gravel and small stones to give you an ample footing there, and enough to trail the water off to the sides. Though as you approach this new opening here, you start to hear a very violent sound of just really strong winds. Almost hurricane force winds. Just howling at high speeds.
This sound.
Damn it, Garuda, get out of here. So, high spin winds loud enough to where it could be heard. And how far ahead is this, or are we in it?
You are probably about 30 feet from it right now.
Just for shits and giggles, I'm going to take one of my ball bearings and I'm going to throw it into the wind and see what happens.
Okay.
See how see how fast it gets whisked away.
So you throw the one of the bearings, and it kind of lands outside the cave, and it just starts to roll at a natural speed, just along the ledge till it eventually just falls off the ledge, and you hear it just, and then just keeps dropping to eventually.
Okay. So it's not that bad.
It's not horrendous, but we do also know now that that is quite a drop if we were to fall.
Then don't. Oh, it's as simple as that.
You really want to get punched.
I'm lucky enough to have a fly spell. Adonaros has his broom. Does anyone else have any fail-safes?
Nope.
Nope.
I have my skill at climbing, so that's my failsafe. My failsafe is not falling. Is not needing a failsafe.
Natural one.
I mean, yeah.
We have to scale down the cliff?
Oh, no. This is a little bit up along the side of the area at summit here.
How far?
30 feet.
Okay, I can ferry one person at a time.
That's what I was thinking. Yeah.
It would only take a few trips to even do that.
Yeah, it's only 30 feet. I could do that in one move. So everybody gather at the base of the thing, and in about half a minute, everybody would be up in the opening.
Yeah, like not even half a minute. I think there's only really 4 of us here. 5, well, four people would have to vary. So, yeah, not even 30 seconds.
All right.
Yep.
That's a plan we
what I'll
can
do.
define.
Adonaros will be a temporary taxi for the rest of the party.
All right. Well, you start ferrying people to the mouth of this cave entrance, and you don't have any trouble really ferrying them to there, even at the slightly slower speed. But once everybody's there and you kind of peer in, you see where the sound was coming from. The sound, about 10 feet into the cavern, you see the rock, like the dust, the small pebbles swirling about so fast that you can't even see past it. It's almost like looking into a sandstorm.
Okay, can I make?
Oh, well, now
check?
that is bad.
What that is?
Called a dust tornado.
No, not necessarily.
You can make let's see. Make a survival check.
So it's a naturally occurring phenomenon.
Everyone?
Is what you're saying.
Well, you're trying to assess what this is. So, first is a survival check.
16.
Okay.
All right, I'll guidance my survival. It doesn't really matter. 9.
17.
12.
All right. So, Quincy, I don't know. You definitely surmise that you've never heard tales, read any books, anything about such a natural occurring event. So, this must be something magically created or something unnatural of any source. Now, determine what this is. I want you, both of you, just Quincy and Adonaros, if they'd like, to make Arcana checks.
Okay, our inspiration, do we have to do it before we roll, or we can do it when we roll?
It gives you advantage on it, so
I'll spend 1.
I got a 14. Just not normal.
25.
25.
Adonaros,
I mean,
this
advantage.
worries you a bit because these winds seem like something from another plane that you've read about.
Yep. This is a
And
planar gate, my friends, I believe.
you think that
Oh no, it's another one of these.
that these winds might be the winds of pandemonium, or at least they seem like it, just of how the howling force that they represent.
Fascinating.
Oh, here we go again.
See? Fascinating caves. I told you.
No, the other cave was completely boring and banal, sir. This cave is fascinating because it has a planar gate. Please stop correcting me at every turn, small one.
That's
I
what
think I know more than you.
Quincy looks up at Adanaros and goes, "Listen, I apologize for him. It's just how he is. You get used to it." And
then I look at him one last time, look down at Telrin and go, annoying, and then go back to examining the planar gate. And I pull out my book and take some notes.
He gives a shrug of agreeance.
So I'm gonna look over at Althea and go, "You seem to also be clued in on what this is. You mind explaining?"
No, well, in character she doesn't. We've been through planar gates before. In character though.
Oh, okay. I thought
If he announces what it is, then she'll.
Yeah, that's what
He
he
said
what he thinks it
Pandemonium,
is. Yes, which is
This is horribly fucking bad, people. Out of character. This is not necessarily very good at all.
I like pandas.
Not that kind of pandemonium.
The last time we entered a dimensional gate, we ended up stuck out of time for 6 months, and darkness had befallen the land when we got back. It generally was a shitty vacation.
well. Last time we went through multiple gates. You went
I don't know, I
through.
was distracted by that comment.
You went
He's
through
like,
Dark
tell me
Sun,
about
Ravenloft, literally the first layer of Hell.
What? This
Yeah.
did not happen. Dave's fucking with me.
No,
No,
it literally happened.
Really?
Yeah, it was parts of the
Dude.
giant citadel.
You gotta tell Adanaros this story sometime, because this is some fascinating shit to him.
We went through a gate, we crossed a desert, we went through another gate, we went through a place that had a lot of demons, we closed down a dimensional verge, we came back, then we went to the realm of the Fae. We've been dimension hopping at this point quite a few times.
It's where they actually found Newt.
He'd be scribbling furiously, and he'd be like, "Can you describe each place in slightly more detail, please?"
All I can tell you is if you find a cloak, don't put it on.
So, while our dear friend Adanaros is having a field day, what exactly are we supposed to do about that swirling vortex of dust and stone?
Avoid it like the plague.
So
That is definitely a good idea.
Dave, does my wisdom tell me that we need to go through here to do what we need to do?
Yes.
Oh,
Okay.
shit.
God damn it!
I mean, they did say that it didn't exist within our reality, so it makes sense that. Oh,
So yeah,
Oh.
he gives a few
This is
minutes
gonna
as
be
he's
fun.
not saying anything, to y'all all this. We should avoid it, blah, 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 as he's writing all this stuff down, and then he calmly looks at everybody and says, "We can't avoid it. This is the way we have to go."
So, wait, this is sounding like suicide.
Can I make an Arcana roll to know about Pandemonium, Dave?
Sure can.
Well, with my 25, what do I know about Pandemonium, Dave?
I'll cast guidance on Althea.
Nice.
19.
All right, not too bad. So, what you know, Althea, is Pandemonium. It's a plane kind of ascribed as the deep caverns. It's a very chaotic plane. The winds are one of the things that accent it the most. However, there are a race of beings that dwell there called the Githyanki that have the ability to kind of shift themselves not only within the plane but within other planes with the blink of an eye. It's one of the things that they're kind of more revered for, their ability to move, almost jump in and out of these planes of existence.
Oh my god, I read about them in 3.5.
Yeah.
Did they keep the same? Did they keep the same lore for them?
Well, not sure. At least, I don't know. The things that you know above this is things like normal fires don't really survive in Pandemonium. There is no natural light. Conversation is kind of very difficult to have because of the great winds, the howling winds that are pretty much carry away the sound, shouts, verbal spell components. Without adequate protection.
Can I make a wisdom save, and if I achieve a result of 15 or higher, I will advise we abandon the girls to their fate and go do something else.
Oh, isn't it also where the Queen of Air and Darkness resides?
I mean, you've heard things, you've read things. You're not entirely sure in that. Well, at least Althea is not.
It's a very dangerous plane that I studied.
Yeah, but if we have to go in there, we have to go in there. It really doesn't matter.
I will impart everything I know about it to the rest of the group.
We work for Billidan, and if Billidan has decided that we're going to rescue these people, then we really can't countermand that.
Well, to be fair, as I was going to address with Mr. Billidan before, technically, according to the discussion he and I had, I was not hired by him. I'm working with y'all, so I'm not an employee so much as a partner. So to speak.
Well, if you feel the need to leave, then by all means. But the rest of us have given our word, or at least I have. So,
I mean, I wasn't even hired by Billidan.
Quincy and Tower are kind of here against our will because the Rixori took our business partner.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, regardless, like I said, it's up to you. I have to go in there if Billidan decided that we're doing this rescue mission.
But then again, he could be dead.
It doesn't matter. There's such a thing as honor, and if you know anything about me, you know the one thing I don't do is leave any teammate behind nor go back on my word.
Well, there are going to be difficulties.
Dad,
so he just relates all the fact that the communication will be difficult and fire will not be easy to produce, and he'll relate all he knows about the plane.
Yeah, without proper protection, you could be permanently deaf within just a mere minutes.
What kind of protections will we need then, Adenoros?
Would wax in our ears suffice, Dave?
Could help. I mean, anything that would help protect from loud sounds. Is mainly what you're looking for, but again, also communication is difficult within the same environment due to the howling winds, which can also deafen you.
Should we contact the airship with the sending stone?
We cannot do that, Katsu, because Mira has that item.
No, Katsu has that.
Oh, he does. Cool. Well, then I guess we can. If you think that would be prudent, I would not advise you not to do so.
That's what I'm asking, if it would be prudent. While we don't have proof that this is where Newt is, this is supposedly where she is, if I'm not wrong.
Out of character, when it comes to communication, I have message as one of my cantrips, so keeping an open channel with everyone in the party would not be hard to do.
Well, that may not work, because weren't we told that spells with a verbal component don't work? I believe message is one of them.
It is also somatic and has a material.
Yeah, but it needs all of them.
Yeah.
It's not like pick one. It's you got to do them all.
So you're telling me that because So you're saying that because, well, you can still speak, it's just not easy for others to hear. So you're saying any spell with a verbal component cannot be cast in Pandemonium.
In the middle of the Howling Winds.
We are so
It's like being
fucking
underwater. You
Yeah.
can cast one spell underwater, but then you immediately start to drown as you just left all the air out of your lungs. In Pandemonium, it's not that the air leaves your lungs, it's just the winds take the sounds of every word, shout, and scream uttered.
I can see that being. Never mind. That's fine. However you want to do it, Dave.
Eldritch Blast is verbal.
Yeah, I'm going through my spell list right now to figure out which
So
ones
is Hunger of Hadar.
Pretty
Good
much.
thing
pretty
I don't
much
magic.
Pretty much anything worth the fuck magically is verbal. So
I'll be useless.
ooh, shield is off the table right now. Absorb elements is fine.
So I'm going to actually vote with the get the bitch queen over here.
Yeah. Yeah. Because we are not equipped to deal
Yeah,
with this.
this is not something we can do.
All right, so how does the Sending Stone work?
Well, it's paired with another stone. This one is one carried by Tarn. And you pretty much grip it and you start speaking your communication through. You're like whispering.
All right, I will pull out the stone. Yes, yes. Were you going to say something?
I was just gonna say, tell them that we know where they are. Don't don't be vague, but make it sound like we're, on top of it. You know what I mean? Is like, if we're like, yeah, we don't want her to be like thinking that we're. I don't know what I'm saying. Just forget it.
Katsu will pull out the Sending Stone and activate it, and like, this is Katsu. We have located the place where Newt is supposed to be. It is a portal to another dimension. You probably want to get here pretty quickly.
All right, as you send that message, Tarn responds back. Do you know what dimension?
Pandemonium.
After about a minute or two of silence, you receive another message back from him. We are on our way.
Peachy. We'll have pie.
Don't tell them that. They might actually be expecting us to have pie.
Within an hour, you see the airship moving at incredible speeds over the landscape. This massive skyship with, 9 masts going across its hull. It stops above the valley, near where Katsu is with the Sending Stone by the portal here. And in a moment, you didn't see him before, but all of a sudden there's this bright flash of light, little energy trails start to trickle off the stone as just a slow you see Tarn just appear, like he just came out of thin air. And he's holding that same strange cubic device that you've seen him hold so many times before. But you never knew what it was. And he asks you to stand close.
mean,
Do
I
as
guess we
instructed.
do.
All right, as you huddle close to him, he activates this strange device. And you see what almost, because of the rain on the outside, you see it almost like there's this cube-like barrier that is now formed around you, with Tarn being kind of at the center of it. And it begins to walk towards that planar barrier. You get about 5 feet into the cavern, and you can almost feel the difference here. Gravity doesn't even quite feel the same. It's different. And you start to see the winds kind of maneuver around this force on the other side. As he continues to press forward, whatever force that's causing these winds is actually starting to crack some of the force barrier that he has created around you. Moving as quickly as possible, trying to travel through this. You get about another 30 or so feet, and the barrier pierces through this wind wall, as it were. And on the other side, not quite what you're expecting. It's greatly illuminated, but all around you, you can see the winds almost spiraling around, like you're it's almost like you're in the eye of the tornado. But you find yourselves standing on this floating bit of landmass, and there's these other floating bits of landmass around the area. And on the largest bit of landmass that's floating in the air is this large tower. You hear little bits of chanting coming from the base of the tower here. And Tarn kind of ushers you to go forward as you see more of the force wall that he has maintained to pass through this is cracking more and more from the other force energies that are just barraging against it.
So this isn't pandemonium?
You've never been to Pandemonium, so you're not quite sure, but the inside of this wind-like structure, this wind wall, is something like you've never imagined before. And I am pulling up a map here.
So this is a demi-plane.
That ahead looks like looks like a tower. It could be the Tower of Rancor.
And considering the fact that described as wind freaks, okay, that's colloquial, but poetic license, but
You racist!
So it was just made to look like pandemonium?
No,
maybe more to.
I could only assume that
And
the effect
there.
similar to the howling winds of pandemonium, perhaps.
Yeah, a pocket dimension. If not pandemonium, it's probably a pocket dimension meant to emulate pandemonium, because again, they're wind freaks.
Once again, I say, Garuda, get the fuck out of here.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay, so that's the tower.
That is a tower. We do not know if it is the tower.
I would think that would probably be a safe bet.
Yeah, it's a safe
Not
bet.
knowing what we
Con-
know of the tower. That
Knowing what we know of roboting Lauren.
Where do we appear in here, sir?
That's what I'm trying to pull your tokens on here. Let's see. Try grabbing that. There we go. Missing Althea's token. Okay. Can anybody not see the map?
The mysterious tower.
Yes.
Yep, it is up and it is loaded, which normally that takes forever. So, yay, I can't find where we are. Oh, there we are.
Bottom right is where everybody should be at.
Man, the graphics for the Dark Tower NES reboot look great.
Shut up!
Okay, you win the for that one. You officially win the stream for that one.
Oh, god damn it, Katsu, fuck you.
I officially give you the stream, good sirrah.
Thank you. It's appreciated.
So, as you
Why is it?
pass through the winds there, Tarn, you see him teleport away right before his barrier shatters.
Oh, good. He couldn't even leave us a little parting gift.
So can we hear? Can we speak? Is the air? We can breathe, right?
You can breathe. From what you can tell, I mean, the wind, you can still hear the howling wind behind you, but it's not taking your breath away. It's not taking your words, the sounds. It's not messing with the sounds like a silent spell would affect.
So we're like in the eye of the storm.
Essentially, when you look up and around you, you could see the wind still spiraling around, and at the very top, there's this bright light just kind of shining down upon the tower, almost like an artificial sun. But above that, you see where the winds kind of taper off to. They don't go up like a tube. It's more like an egg, where you're the yolk of the egg.
Okay.
Okay, so we're in like a bubble city underwater, except it's in wind.
Kinda.
Okay.
Hey, Addy, how's it going?
I don't know what the fuck's going on.
Well,
I do, but my character has no clue.
So you hear
Natural ones
chanting
are
coming
fun.
from the tower area.
All
We hear
right.
Chanting. Do we see any individuals?
Make a perception check.
Can we all make that perception check?
Anybody who'd like to perceive the area, look around for threats, absolutely.
And here's my question:
Yeah.
Is it happy chanting, like praise our
20.
Lord, praise them, they are great, or is it like
guidance myself.
Damien the Omen chanting,
More
where
like
it's
mono-Slavic chanting, just like it's that kind of.
Okay, so it's like meditative.
it's
That's
oh,
the
I am.
what you were describing, Dave, is the double chanting, the throat chanting, where you vibrate your vocal cords at two different frequencies. Very hard to do, but it's really creepy when you do it.
It's like I was just picturing that that ho 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 demon summoning. It's Damien the Omen. The son of Satan has risen here.
No,
Does
it's
your
like Tibetan throat singing.
does your bird also get a perception check, Addy?
That he does.
I got a 20, so
All
Yeah,
right.
She gets some.
Well, we know how this all goes, and we also know we're in a not nice place, so we might as well go see what's going on.
She got 11 for hearing and 19 for vision.
So she sees the chanting but doesn't hear it.
Oh my god.
Our bird has gone deaf.
All right, so the chanting, you do see what do you think maybe some of the sources of the chanting. You see two individuals dressed in loose, kind of dirty white robes, almost like an off-white. They have feather-like wings on their backs, but Otherwise, they appear almost human in their other respective features. Their heads are shaven. They have various tattoos and glyphs, other paints and markings upon them. What they mean, you're not quite sure. But they are currently kneeled down facing the tower.
Do we want to go in guns blazing, or do we want to try to talk to them as I look over at Katsu?
I mean, last time we tried talking went surprisingly well.
That was not Katsu, though.
I mean, yeah, so it was Mira who... So imagine how well it will go with Katsu. Who's actually good at that.
Now you have jinxed him.
Gambler's fallacy, my friend. Gambler's fallacy.
We can go about this two ways. We could just attack on site, or we could talk to them. So it's really up to you guys, because Quincy does not give a shit either way.
Though, granted, we are in their realm, so probably...
I don't think it's a good idea for me to go up there by myself.
Oh, fuck no, we're not. You're not going up there by yourself.
No,
Hell
that
no.
would not be a good idea. No, not at all.
We would
I'll
go
go
with
with
you,
you.
but you would be the one to talk if we're going to talk.
I'm fine with attempting to speak with them.
Prepare for war, but hope for peace, as they say.
Okay.
All right, so Katsu, you're going to make the approach? Or is Adanaros is making the approach?
We should all be going up together.
Yeah.
Agreed.
So are they looking in or out?
The cultists
Like,
are
are-
facing the tower on their knees, chanting.
Okay.
Now, as you approach Katsu, you can look down here, and this landmass here is actually floating above the lower landmass below you. It looks like it's floating about 20 feet above. Now, as you all get to this portion of the landmass here, that is when you hear this.
Did
That's
someone
not a good
just
sign.
follow you, Dave?
I'm going to bet no.
I'm gonna bet you're getting a lot of followers right now.
That's a slightly different demonic sound.
So, but yeah, you hear that roar come from the tower itself.
Oh, we're gonna have to kill a dragon, aren't we?
Five-headed dragon, let's go.
Oh,
Five-headed dragon? We're screwed, man. That's Tiamat.
You know when the entire group is sitting back going, oh shit, it's a dragon.
So, jumping down, I guess, is the only way to move forward.
Adanaris can ferry us down.
to.
How far down is it?
20 feet.
Yeah, 20 feet
Yeah,
to the other
that's-
landmass. But beyond the other landmass, as you're looking around, you see, could be 100 or more feet before you actually get to more of the howling winds that line the bottom as well as the walls of this place. Again, the winds kind of form an eggshell-like barrier. Just it's like you're inside of a globe, and the globe itself is the winds.
There's no reason why we shouldn't just take the safe route down.
Yeah.
Addie, love us.
Fuck it, just jump off.
Okay, hey Dave, what am I rolling? Acrobatics?
No, jump off.
Yeah, I'm going to roll acrobatics so I don't hurt myself completely. I think it's acrobatics, or is it athletics?
Probably acrobatics.
To
Nope.
safely
Really,
fall.
Adanaros?
No,
To safely
yeah,
fall.
really. I cast that, and y'all are fine.
Oh,
Have some faith.
all right.
Oh, okay.
Thank God you cast that too.
Yeah, as y'all jump off, looking at him like he's crazy, you're like, "Oh well, thank you for your trust." And then he goes, "Bruh," and y'all feather fall.
Just very slowly fall, making very little sound as you go.
Oh, that was an experience?
No,
I
very good
spend
for
an action to shunt Narthra into a pocket dimension. For the sake of ease, I'm just gonna leave her by where we came, but she's not here.
Okay, I'm gonna
Right.
try to move here and hide behind this pillar.
I need 2 more seconds. I gotta fill up my pitcher.
Did you hear that, Dave?
That, which part?
That I shunted Narthra into the pocket.
Yes, that
Yeah.
Narthra was going to yes.
Okay.
Yes, I heard that as well as Althea being momentarily absent to refill.
And
that.
then I'm hiding behind a pillar.
Okay, roll your stealth.
13.
All right, so you go behind this pillar, and as your body's kind of pressed by it, you kind of look over the edge, and you just see all the howling winds down below. It's floating landmass, and there's little bits of you're not sure if it's gas or fog or whatnot, but it almost looks like simulated cloud below as well, and it kind of creates the illusion that these land masses are actually slowly moving, just with how those gases just kind of move within this place.
All right then. I'll look down again.
And I'm back again.
Welcome back. So, Katsu, Quincy, what are you two doing?
I'm actually
Katsu.
going to pitch this idea to Katsu that in case one negotiation fails, it would be nice to have a second face to potentially save the situation.
Say that again.
She's going to pitch the idea that it would be good to have 2 people to try to talk to them over one, just from past experiences.
Sure.
She will let you take the lead, though.
Alright, so how is this going now? So far the cultists have not even registered your being there. They're still on their knees, kind of hands up, making these throaty chants. Occasionally they just kind of bow down to the tower. Now there is a large red, almost iron reinforced double door at the base of this tower. It is closed.
Not entirely surprised.
Katsu is going to cast Thaumaturgy twice. The ground will begin to rumble, and ominous whispers begins to be heard from around.
Okay, and as you cast that,
Do you tell me that all the way, by the way? Or
You could probably tell he cast it.
I pressed to digitate my shorts clean.
so when you cast that, you hear the audible effects go off in the air, but again, the cultists do not take notice of it.
A herald has come among you. Do you ignore him?
And when you begin to speak, the cultists still keep doing their prayer. You hear at the top of the tower claws, heavy footsteps. Something at the top moves toward the edge. As it does so, you see this outline, the shadow-like outline, as you look up from the light piercing beyond it. This scaled, winged creature looks down upon you. Who dares approach the Tower of Rancor? Answer me!
I am Katsu. I am the consort of death, and I have come because you are holding one of our own.
Is this supposed to impress me? You look like just another mere mortal.
And you look like a lizard.
don't do that! Are you bloody insane?
Oh no!
We can-
I thought you were the diplomatic one.
You're the diplomatic one. What the hell?
We
Please tell
can-
me you don't say that in character.
Can I talk? We've come here to avoid bloodshed. Only so we can shed the blood that awaits us. The one that you keep here. Death will strike an accord with you. But you must turn over the one we seek.
Make a persuasion check.
I'm going to use one of my inspirations.
Actually, hold off on that. I'm going to give you a bardic inspiration.
I'm still going to use my inspiration.
Okay.
They're different things.
I'm fully aware, but
The beauty of that
Just-
is that it adds to both of your rolls.
yep. So yeah, I'll give you a bardic inspiration.
The inspiration is a D8.
It is a D8, yes.
31.
Very nice, Ken.
So, this shadow-like creature flies down from the tower, lands with a loud thud, just whoosh. Stone from the ruins of whatever temple this may have once been just kind of spray up into the air. This massive scaled creature just looks down upon Katsu. Its head neck cranes down as the face is just inches from Katsu's. have the stench
Katsu's...
of death upon you.
Wait, I'm sorry, what?
He says, you have the stench of death upon you.
It's the same stench a lover would leave after a long night.
As one messenger of death to another. You may pass, but if you are unworthy, the tower will claim you. And he just bellows out this roar as his wings start to flap. Whoof, whoof, and he takes flight back upon the tower. You see him go beyond the cap and land somewhere at the top of the tower.
Katsu will look back at the party. Come, we are on time schedule.
Okay, well, that was something.
All right. All right. Again, the cultists still just are bowing down, worshiping the tower. They, as you approach the main doors to the base of the tower, they don't stop you. They don't stop themselves in the middle of their worship.
And as Adonros flies up, notice he's scribbling furiously in his book after having encountered that creature.
All right.
What was that, Dave? What check did I make to know what that was?
Let's see. For that, it is going to be...
Aren't dragons and wyverns like Arcana?
Well,
or are they nature?
Well, that you're assuming that it's a dragon or a wyvern. Make a religion check.
No. No idea. Okay.
The closest you can
Like
assumption
that.
is whatever creature was, it may have had some binding to the elemental plane of negative energy.
20 on the religion check.
You perceive that, Althea, as some sort of shadow creature that, for whatever reason, the negative infused energies took the shape of a dragon, and this dragon is here at this tower now. So this cult worships, apparently, death, and from what they picked up prior, they revere and sacrifice creatures that take flight as well.
Well, I suppose they allowed us to enter, but
Yeah.
we just have to be careful.
Where's the entrance?
Entrance is right in front of you. It's two large doors, about 10 feet high, each door about 5 feet in width. Bright red with iron reinforced banding. And they are both closed.
Try to open the door.
Yeah, you go in.
All right. As you push on the doors inward, they slowly open up. As they do, they open up into some sort of ceremonial chamber, place for worship. There's several pillars supporting the interior of this tower. The pillars seem to go up for about 40 feet or so till they stop at the ceiling, which is decorated in various paint scriptures, almost depicting just various angels, demons, devils, other aerial beings in flight, some in conflict. And there are various sections along the sides, almost alcoves, that have lit candles. Looks like maybe prayer sections. And across the center floor here, there is a single rug going to what appears to be a little stand where one can lead maybe scripture or lead, others in prayer. But there are you don't see anybody here.
You think maybe they split when you were talking to the dragon?
Apparently nobody answers Althea.
The only person who... Well, okay, so around the area, how long does it look like since it was last used?
Make an investigation check.
Is that to one or all of us?
That is a 12.
Well, Quincy, want to see how long it had been since it was last used, so anybody else who has the same question in their mind can make an investigation check. Otherwise, it would be just Quincy.
20 on the investigation.
I also got a 20.
Oh my god.
Katsu got a natural, so...
Yeah, so many freaking 20s. Alright, so as you're looking around here, the candles have been burning probably for a few hours. It kind of coincides with, hours like, sunrise. So these candles were probably lit early in the morning. But the place is pretty clean for the interior, so it's not like the inside is abandoned. It's not ruined like the outside. The inside is actually pretty much impeccable. A little too much. But the chanting that you heard were from the two cultists outside. The interior here is more or less quiet. However, as you're looking around, you do notice behind the central pedestal where one would lead the various cult ceremonies and such, and prayers and whatever rituals that they would do here, there are a series of murals behind them. It looks like some of them maybe could be prayers. There's text almost engraved into the wall.
Can I read the text?
Not from where you're at in the chamber. You'd have to actually go up to the wall, and this is across the interior of the tower. So you're kind of just a few feet inside of the tower, looking around some of the alcoves, seeing how long the candles are burning, seeing that there's everything's wiping your finger across, everything's in really good condition. But you can make out what looks to be lettering on the very far wall behind the prayer pedestal.
In what language?
I'm not
Katsu
sure.
will
There's just some
approach the
kind of
pedestal.
lettering.
Gwen's able to do the same because she wants to see if she can read it as well.
All right. So, anyone else going up to these markings?
Yeah, I want to see if I can read them.
All right.
Do the murals look like realistic, like pictures?
No, they're letterings. The pictures seem to be on like stained glass windows as well as paintings across the ceiling. Those seems to be what's decorated with imagery, but behind here there's various lettering that's kind of carved out. Think of it like Ten Commandments style. There's just stone with lettering kind of chiseled into it, or at least carved out of it. And let me see here. All right, so apparently,
Can I make a roll to see at least what the language is? I don't know what it is.
Oh yeah, I know. I just
I
seen
can't
the. I just sent out to see who would know this. And
I do not.
none of you
Nope.
know this language.
I will cast comprehend languages as a ritual.
Okay. So, Adanaros begins to go through his spell book, finds the spell, and after about 10 minutes of going through the preparations.
10 minutes and 6 seconds.
Hey, Dave,
Yes.
I hate to do this, man. I am feeling completely terrible. I've been
Sorry.
trying to focus, but I'm choking my brains out here. I've got to lay down.
All right. See you later.
Sorry, guys.
Later, bro.
And
Thanks
with
for-
that,
Yeah,
you
no
notice
problem.
Althea is no
Later.
longer in the interior chapel of the tower.
Dear. Alright, and then while Adanaros is setting up his ritual, I'm going to just be on the lookout for any potential dangers.
Okay. So,
Can I roll any form of knowledge to see if I've read about this or no? Or would I just not have, period?
well, you're not sure what you're looking at with this, but Telrant, for you looking out for potential dangers, make a perception check.
Five.
Everything seems
Well, we'll
normal
just
for
say
you.
that I'm still shooken up from the whole dragon god thing outside. Yeah. So I'm
But
not totally focused.
Adanaros, after the 10 minutes goes by and the 6 seconds to actually invoke the power of the incantation, you begin to the lettering for what looks just like various shapes and symbols start to kind of mold before your eyes. Not physically on the stone for everybody else, but for you, they just start to kind of almost like ink balling up together and then reforming into something legible. And you're able to read some of the context. Some of these are various prayers.
Does this have to, if this has an impact, I have to touch the surface the language is written on to understand it.
Yeah, and you're able to touch that, and some of these are prayers. But there's one that kind of stands out that it seems really odd, considering the rest of this place. And let's see. So this note here will show up. All right, so I'm gonna. This gets shared with everybody essentially, but nobody's gonna know what it says unless Adanaros actually reads it to them. And this is what you can translate. This is what you can read. It doesn't fit anything else on here. Let me know if you can or cannot see that.
I can see it.
I can see it.
Now again, Adanaros is the only one that can read this.
Sounds like a riddle.
Well, seeing as I'm cautious, I will lock this in my mind, and then I will remove my hand from the plaque. Because, you know, maybe if I read it out loud while touching it, it'll activate something. I don't want to do that. So then I will quietly huddle with everyone else near the entrance and say what is said on the plaque.
And you can read it out for him if you like. You do it in your fascinating
I have a
voice.
name, but it's never mine. I mark mortal privation, my face worn with age, inscribed with enduring summation. The message the same, no matter what is said. Men cannot outrun me, yet I always stand. To look upon me is to see the future and the past. Plant me, but I'll never grow. Fields of morning is where I bloom.
Gravestone.
Oh, yeah. Or a death cult.
Well, that's exactly what it is. It's a grave marker.
So what exactly should we be... how should we go about the situation?
I don't know.
I'm going to take another look around the room, find any doors, stairways, anything at all.
Get guidance.
Okay, make an investigation.
Wait, did you just say that you're putting guidance on me?
Yeah, you have
You can
guidance.
keep doing it.
That is a 14.
All right, so looking around, you start kind of feeling around for, doors, things like that, just seeing anything unusual. And the one thing you notice about this particular plaque is the lettering on this plaque are not carved inwards, they're carved out. Like the actual lettering is 3D.
What is 3D?
The
The
lettering.
letters
The
of the
letters,
placard.
they stick out instead of being carved in.
Of the thing I just read.
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah.
Quincy's like rubbing her fingers over it to see if there's anything special about them. They're not buttons or anything, right?
I don't know, you trying to push one?
Yeah, she'll try to push the first letter.
Okay, so as you press down on the letter I, it does move inward, and you hear a click. And as you press it, you feel a sharp jolt run through your hand, and it's almost like a shock, like an electric shock. You should take 1 point of damage.
Violence! 9 hells.
We're obviously supposed to spell something.
Yeah, gravestone or tombstone or something like that.
Yeah, well, you can't get it wrong. She holds her finger as she walks back to you guys.
Still kind of darkened where it just got electrical burn.
It's
Okay, after
tombstone.
evaluating the
Look,
runes, Dave, can you spell gravestone with runes or tombstone or grave marker?
now look at the number of lines. If you count out the number of them, the one letter from each line, you can spell tombstone, but not gravestone.
Actually, no, you can't, because that's 9 letters or 10 letters, and there's only 8 lines.
TOMBSTONE.
Yeah, that's 9.
Yeah, you can spell tombstone.
Yeah, there's 9 lines.
Okay, but there's not. Hold on. Yep, that's it.
Do you want me to go back and wait? I can't read it. Never mind.
No, I'll do it. So the T and the its, the O in mortal, the M in my, the B in inscribed, the S in same, the probably the T in either outrun or yet, the O in one of the look upon, probably look, and then the N in never, and the E in fields or where.
All right. So, Adenaros, as you start pressing these letters in that order, you hear little clicks after you press each one. And then when you press the final E in the lettering, you hear a series of almost like gears starting to click in sequence. And then the slow sound of stone upon stone sliding. And you see the wall itself start to slide back. And it looks like you can actually push past this wall, like you can actually push it back. Like it regresses further into the tower.
I'll look at someone else because I have noodle arms.
I have noodle arms as well.
I have noodle arms.
This is the Noodle Arms crew.
I
Hey,
have,
Tal'Dorei, what's your strength?
my strength is 10.
You are
Higher than
probably the least noodly armed person out of all of us.
Telrin has just been upgraded to Conan.
Good. Okay. So the tiny gnome will go and push the stone block aside. All
Why
right.
don't we all try and help him?
Yeah, I was about to say, let's all try to help him.
All right, as you start to push this back, you see that after you're about a foot or so, there seems to be steps leading downward.
Oh joy!
Is it dark down
Going
there?
deeper.
It is indeed lightless.
I just want to say, I really like Who Am I riddles.
Yeah, that was pretty cool. I miscounted the number of lines. That's my fault, not my.
That's all right. I'm trying to think of some other little puzzle riddles to include in some of these things for you guys. So
Good job, Katsu.
Quincy will cast a light on her crossbow, and she'll hold it out forward as she looks at the others and goes, well,
Guess we go forward.
Solving a riddle is good enough to prove yourself, huh?
Well, it
Let's
might
see what
just
else they
be
got.
one test. Was
all right, so
So,
as you
okay. So this is a new area, and as we go along, can I just also continue looking for possible danger?
absolutely roll a perception check. As you go down the stairs, they kind of start to
20.
spiral down. And you're checking the footing. The stairs themselves don't seem to be, trapped or false. But they open up into a much larger area. I'm just getting this on the map here.
Hey, Dave.
Yes.
Can you give me control of the ward so I can adjust its health of
Um,
the NPC?
Sure. I didn't know you didn't have that. Let me see if this will work. Does that work for you now?
Yeah, I see it.
Okay, perfect. You still see Narthra, though?
Here, I clicked on new and all
I gave you
have is
Narthra. Yeah, I just dropped Narthra on you as well, so
Wait a
you
minute.
should have access to both.
The arcane disappeared for some reason.
I will drop it back on you. Actually, wait. I will drop it back on you this way.
It is just It's weird. I moved it and then
Do you have
I'm
the
not trying to
NPC
do
button? You can try to search for Arcane.
Yeah, I'm looking, and I don't
So,
see it on there.
while you're trying to see that, let me get your tokens on here. Because there's actually a few. Whoop.
I love this bridge, dude. This bridge is cool.
Oh, it's not done yet. Not done yet.
I have a feeling we're about to have a Shadow of the Colossus moment.
All right, so you guys are on the far left side of this bridge, this expanse. But that's not the bridge, as impressive as it is. It's not the thing that catches your eye. It's the things that are dangling from the ceiling above you. And there's another picture here.
I will point my crossbow up to direct the light and see what it is. Oh, hi!
Oh dear.
Beautiful.
So, filling this chamber up, dangling from the ceiling, just it's you could lose count with how many of these things are just dangling from the ceiling. Their eyes have been kind of sewn shut. Their mouths, some of them hang open. Looks like where stitches may have been popped, but some of them have tried to been sewn. The ones that you can make out on the back, it looks like they may have been winged creatures at some point, as the wings themselves have been removed. And now these are the bodies, the remains that just dangle over this expanse.
I mean, death cults, man.
Well, maybe not the same race. I did see plenty of these types of hanging corpses when I was in prison. She'll look over at Katsu and Adonaros.
Puzzling. He will, careful not to enter onto the bridge. He'll examine the stonework of the bridge itself for any unusual markings or anything like that.
Okay, make a perception check. Actually, no, make an investigation check.
Guidance.
$29.
Okay, so looking on the bridge here, and kind of seeing, not going on the bridge, but just looking around the sides, this chamber, the bridge itself doesn't look like it has any supports really underneath, at least the bits that you can see. There's no inscriptions or any kind of glyphs, things that you're really seeing stand out as you look upon it. Some of the bridge does look old, worn, but the cracks aren't from age. The cracks almost seem like they're from impact.
Exactly.
Do you reckon it's a safe idea to cross it on foot?
Well, from what I can determine, the cracks in the stonework of the bridge are derived from heavy impacts of something. So I would assume that this bridge is trapped in some.
Either that or our friends up there aren't so well secured.
That would also be a form of a trap if they fell down and began to attack. That is trap-like.
Well,
Be one hell of a swarm.
let's test that, shall we? He points his fingers at the nearest corpse. Eldritch Blast.
Okay. Make an attack roll for your Eldritch Blast. Okay. You blast the first corpse that you see hovering right over the bridgestone. The Eldritch Blast does strike it. Roll your damage. As you strike it, a chunk of its flesh just goes flying off. The Eldritch Blast itself, the force from it just kind of causes it to rock into some of the others, and you start to hear the general rattling of the chains. It causes a slight, minor, forgive the pun here, chain reaction. But they just rattle and sway, and then eventually just stop.
Creepy, but
Death
they
cult
didn't
smell.
react.
Is that an accurate portrayal of the self, Dave, with like missing blocks and stuff?
Yes.
The consort of death finds corpses creepy. Would not have guessed this. She is saying that in character to you.
Well, I prefer these kinds of things to be handled with a bit more decorum.
Well, we could attempt to fly across. Because I'm hesitant to set foot upon the bridge for fear that it will activate something.
I kind of agree.
Hmm.
And I'm kind of in agreement as well.
I'll stay over here until last. I can cover you with my Eldritch Blast.
So is this when everybody pushes Quincy forward?
Yeah, pretty much.
Nope.
I was about to move forward too because of that.
Get on the broom, Quincy.
Alright, she'll get on.
Katsu is watching the bridge and ready to start shooting.
And then I'll ferry Quincy across.
How high up are you flying?
How tall is this area?
Well, you can't really see how tall it is because there's a sea of dangling corpses above you. They literally
And how
block. There's so
far?
many of them that they block out the ceiling.
Got you. How far up are the dangling corpses?
Those about 10 feet is when they start to kind of where you start actually hitting the corpses.
That's it?
Mm-hmm.
Swing
It looks-
around
wow.
underneath the bridge, dude.
Yeah.
What's off to the sides?
From what you can see, darkness unless you want to fly down.
So are the corpses in a perfect alignment with the bridge?
They go beyond the bridge, at least on the ceiling side.
No, I'm saying so they protrude to the left and right of the bridge as well?
Yes. So not only they cover the, where the stone little flag tiles are for the bridge, but that ravine, the left and the right of it, they are covering that ceiling. They're just dangling down. Some of them more rotted than others, but eventually they almost just get to a point where they're almost pickled. So whatever they've been doing it for a long time.
I suggest we
Okay.
fly under the bridge.
I mean, there could be like darkness cracks or something to the bridge. And
It's either
I
we
will
fly
make,
5 feet above the bridge or we fly under it.
I'll make one of my dancing lights go into the chasm next to the bridge. Does it disappear?
No, it continues to illuminate downwards.
Okay.
How far are you sending it down?
The limits of the spell are 120 feet, and
Okay,
I
how
have to
far?
keep them within 20 feet of each other.
How far are you sending him?
The full way.
You get about 40 feet, and that's where you see another sea of bodies underneath the bridge. These look like they've been broken chains, because you see that some of the chains thrown about. Some of the bodies are still kind of intertwined, but you don't see any kind of floor in this chasm. Just another sea of bodies with their eyes removed, their mouths sewn shut, where they once had wings removed from their bodies.
This is a whole lot of dead folk.
And again, none of them are
Clearly been-
skeletal. They do show decay, but they stop at a certain point of decay, and almost like the bodies begin to pickle.
Now, are the ones on the bottom seemingly floating there, or it's like a floor of bodies?
It's like a floor of bodies, like somebody just tossed the bodies there, or they just fell there and accumulated over time. Both male, female races, known and unknown, but they all share the same similar aspects. Minimal clothing. They all appear to have once had at least 2 pairs of wings, which have been removed. Their eyes have been removed, and their mouths have been sewn.
All right. Try to go this way, above the bridge.
Okay, as you start to fly over there,
Yeah.
there's this voice that carries over, almost like an echo, and it just speaks out. Voiceless it cries, and wingless it flutters, toothless it bites, and mouthless it mutters.
I need to read it, or else I won't be able to get it.
Yeah, there's nothing to read on there, it's what it says.
Say it again, David. I'll type it for him.
Nope. The voice says that, and your characters respond or they don't.
I'm not going to be able to help because I literally cannot keep shit in my head that I've heard.
Does Adenaro say nothing?
I heard it, so he knows what it says. So can you say it one more time for me, Dave? Because I don't have the eidetic memory that Adenaros does. Was it voiceless it cries, wingless it flutters, mouthless it bites, and something else?
Pretty close.
Well, see, this is why I'm glad my character has keen mind, because I don't.
One moment here. Yeah, for some of these, you gotta listen because they're only going to be given out once.
And I won't be able to help on any of them.
Well, you can write them down yourself. You're free to do that, but I'm not going to repeat things 20 times over, and, that's not how that's going to happen. And this is your only one that you'll ever get.
All right. He'll repeat it for everybody else. So a voice just spoke and said,
Everybody heard it.
voiceless. Oh, okay. Well, he'll reiterate since Katsu needs to read it.
Well, if you're saying this back out to everybody,
Yeah.
okay. As you start
No.
saying this phrase back, what was just told you, just basically repeating it to whatever spoke it, the whole chasm begins to shake violently. Voice thunders through the caverns.
It's wind. Wind is my answer, he'll say loudly.
Yeah, but you said you repeated it to everybody else.
Yep, sure did.
And as soon as you started repeating it, it took that as a response, which was not the correct response. So the cavern booms, the sea of bodies above you begin to move. They start to reach out, trying to grab you from the brim. I want you to make a dexterity check.
Dave, I'm nowhere near the bodies above us.
Make a dexterity check, please.
Saving throw or just normal check? It's not like
Just
it
a
matters
normal
to me.
check.
Do I need to make one too since I'm on the berm?
14.
No, he's controlling the broom, so he's the one that's kind of trying to maneuver it. So the bodies themselves, the arms, while some of them are flying out, others have chains that are just drooping down, that are whipping the chains at you, trying to wrap it around you, your arm, your legs, the broom itself. And you manage to kind of pull the broom back before one of the chains wraps around it. But all the bodies are starting to flail above the bridge. And below, you can hear similar chains and movement down below.
Fly back safely there. And wait.
The bodies still move, but they're not.
Are they
They're not
able
coming
to get closer
down.
to us?
As far from where you're at over there, no. They are trying to get to you, but they're still stuck on their chains. They're whipping, they're throwing the chains, trying to grapple onto you. They can't really. Some of the chains don't really go past that pillar, but they are trying. And the ones down below, you hear chains whipping, movement like they're trying to climb up.
This sounds like something that we might need to blitz across. Either turn back or blitz across.
What do y'all do?
I gave out my idea.
Well, Quincy's the only one with an idea.
No, Adonaris is waiting.
Waiting for what?
The reset button. Because they weren't moving at all before we got here.
They're still rising and still moving.
We could be waiting here for a very long time.
I blame Katsu.
It's all cats.
So, under the assumption that these are not going to be reset until they either A, grab us, or B, we complete the trial, we either can leave and say fuck everything, or we can go.
We don't know exactly what causes them to attain a state of rest again. So I'll say loudly, wind, and that don't do shit.
That does not do anything.
I'm pretty sure the answer was wind, by the way. He'll say to his companions.
Katsu, Tal'Dorei?
How far
I don't know.
to the north and the south do the bodies persist? Out to visual range?
As you throw your globes of light out there, which they try to grab, they go out the full range of the light, and you're not seeing an end to it.
That is a whole lot of bodies.
Whoever's been doing this has been doing this for a very long time, it would appear.
Can I see if there's any of the chains reaching down to the bridge?
There are a few that do dangle down towards the bridge.
Are they touching the bridge?
Yeah, some of them can reach down toward the bridge, but it's not like every square of the bridge, every 5 feet of the bridge, there's a chain.
Okay.
So there's a chance that they may try to get you, depending on where you're at on the bridge. But outside of that, basically the bridge is a little more hazardous to cross now.
Remind me something, Donaros. When there's two people on the broom, the fly speed goes from 50 to 30?
Yes. Actually, technically, when the weight is above 200 but under 400, it goes from 50 to 30. But it can only hold 2 people.
Do the two of us push it above 200?
How much do you weigh again?
90 pounds.
Yes, we do.
In most cases, it's going to be yes, unless they're like a halfling, a gnome, or a goblin, something, basically a small size creature. Those are usually like 50 pounds or less.
So, like, if it was me plus a halfling that weighed 40 pounds, then yeah, we could still probably go 50.
So, like, him and Tal'Dorei could probably still go full movement, but anybody else wouldn't do it.
Well, as an experiment, let's walk back upstairs, wait 10 minutes, collect our thoughts, and then return down here and see if there's any change. Does that sound like an equitable plan?
Yes.
Sounds
So we
Better
retreat
than
from the
walking
bridge.
into an obvious trap.
Yeah. Retreat
Yeah.
from the bridge for 10, Dave, and then come back down.
All right, you go back upstairs. Do you close the puzzle wall?
Yep.
Okay. So you come back up and you pull the puzzle wall closed, and it clicks. You hear the little mechanisms lock in place once it does, and it goes back to being completely flush with the rest of the wall. And begin to wait your 10 minutes. 10 minutes pass. And now that you know the answer to that puzzle lock, you press the buttons in sequence and push the wall, revealing the steps as you go back down. And when you come back down, the bodies do not
I will
appear,
recast light on my crossbow.
the bodies do not appear to be moving.
Okay. I'll approach the bridge again.
Okay. As you do, voice begins, this familiar voice, once again, mentions to you. What begins but has no end, yet ends all that begins.
Time.
Yep, that sounds about right.
Sounds good.
All right, Katsu, do you shout out time?
I do. I was able to type it out fast enough this time.
Okay. I tried to keep these short just in case people are trying to jot it down. Let's see. All right. So, as you shout that out, the time.
Oh, wait, fuck. It's not.
Unbelievers. Interlopers.
Back up the steps. Yeah. Close the door.
Well,
Redo.
well, that would be a thing. Except
How's it not time?
It's not time, it's death.
Of course it's death. Fucking death cults, man.
All right. So, let's see. That is not bringing the right token here. Still not the right token.
Hi!
Since we won't ever know now, Dave, was the answer to the first one wind?
Yes.
Okay.
I don't suppose me yelling out the answer would be death is going to help us at this point.
Nope.
Yeah.
Cool!
So, moving down from the chains.
But death is not the end. There's afterlife. I don't. Whatever.
So, moving down from the chains, one of the bodies, a much larger body, kind of slams down. The body itself is gaunt, but it's tall. The head almost goes to the bodies above it. You see that it has two pairs of horns, several feet in height, that also go above its head. Its arms elongated, moving well past its thigh with very sharp talon-like claws. The head just tilts up and looks towards you, eyes glowing
What do I have
red.
to roll to know what it is?
Oh, great. I'm the old melee right now.
Let's roll some initiative.
What do I have to roll to try to know what it is, Dave?
Make a religion check.
14.
As far as you can tell, it could be some sort of undead. but you're not quite sure what. You've
Okay.
never really seen. That is not your expertise in undepth. And what's that music?
So on a side note, Dave, in the IRO campaign that I'm in, we use a different type of initiative set for them. I forget what it's called, but it's where you call out what your actions are and then roll on that. Do you know what that is off the top of your head?
No, I've seen variants of that done where people either write down what or type out what they're going to do, and then that's like they don't say what they're going to do; they just kind of do it when it's their turn. But
Hi, Myra.
We have a mirror.
Hey, Mara.
Hello.
mirror,
So you're not
wait,
crushed by boulders.
we have a mirror.
In voice anyway.
Yeah.
Oh, so maybe they are still crushed by boulders.
Maybe
It's just
just
their
Spying
ghost
from the phone or
communicating
something.
with us.
Probably. So I say if we have a mirror, I got to play Mirror's soundtrack. All right. Let's see here. Everybody got initiative. No, Arthur's still in your little
Yeah,
safe
she's in the
place.
pocket dimension.
Yep. All right. Well, in that case, Telrin, you are the first to act.
Oh boy.
Seeing this.
Okay, so before I do anything, would it be possible for me to like fight defensively in a way to like try to just stall and distract the enemy while the others pelt it from range?
Yeah, there is a defensive action she can take
Okay.
where they basically get disadvantage on their attacks to you, and I believe you also get advantage on dexterity.
We might get a level 9 bard and a level 6 cleric, which would be nice.
Yeah, by the way, in case y'all didn't know, that trick works. If you mute everyone except yourself, you will not hear the echo except when you talk. And who cares? I mean, it's not like you need to hear yourself talk anyway.
Oh.
Good to know.
All right. So Telrin's just going to fight defensively.
Yeah, I guess that's what I'm gonna do.
All right, Telrin is fighting defensively.
But we will. Well, I mean, I was gonna like maybe go into melee. At least like I don't know.
Well,
I
if
was
you want
gonna
to move, you can move.
Yeah. Okay.
You can still fight defensively and move, but that's your action was
We're dead.
fighting defensively.
Been nice knowing y'all. We're dead.
You have very little
I
faith
say
in
that
us
every
because
time,
every
so
time you said we're
I don't
dead,
know
except
already.
for the one time in the cave, we have not been dead.
Okay. Yeah.
All right. So as you finish moving there, the creature here, you see it just kind of almost hiss, just, and as it does so, the voice gets louder. You see these black wisps of smoke starting to trail around it, almost encapsulate it. As it does so, it appears to start to move at an accelerated rate. Something you've seen similar from one of your companions.
It's fucking hasted.
Yeah.
You bastard.
No, Bastard would have been if you guys had the full group here. Then you'd have the right to call me a bastard. So, with that, just making sure it's got its bonus armor class here, and Let's see.
Tell me, is haste a spell?
Yes.
Yeah, it's a magical effect, but it didn't look like it cast a spell.
Okay, if it didn't look like it cast a spell, then I can't counterspell it.
No, you can't counterspell.
That makes me sad.
Did you dispel magic?
I don't have dispel magic.
Most likely, yes. And that's what I'm. You're reading my mind because that's what I'm going to try.
Good.
All right. So with that, it is now that it's moving quicker here.
Stop reading my mind, Telrin.
One of my many talents.
Yes, annoyance first, mind reading second.
Mechanical Dragons third.
And let's see. It's gonna try to reach out and smack you here. With a natural 1, so
Oh, thanks.
yeah,
dear.
Yeah.
and that was
Fucked.
it. Didn't do the disadvantage on it, but it doesn't matter. It's a 1. So, all right. So, Talon, yeah, you're fighting defensively as this thing just starts moving at unnatural speeds, and one of its giant clawed hands just come out, swipe at you. Manage to just kind of almost Matrix style lean back, duck, using your short sword to kind of parry the claw as you get right back to your fighting stance, just breathing like, oh shit, that was close. And that will end its turn. Katsu.
All right, so I'm gonna move down here, and I'm gonna hex it, and then I'm gonna cast Eldritch Blast.
Oh yeah, try to push it off the bridge.
I'm gonna use an inspiration.
Okay.
And then I'm gonna use my last inspiration.
Okay.
Oh, I didn't hit advantage. Dang it. Hit. It's knocked back 20 feet at a corner.
Which area?
So
It looks like he's pushing it diagonally up to the northeast, Dave.
yeah,
20
straight
feet.
northeast. It should end up off the edge.
Okay. You hit with 2. Okay.
Yes.
All right. It is going to make a dexterity saving throw.
Natural 20. Fuck.
So as you start to push off the edge, its claws grab onto the ledge, and it's not pulled up all the way on the ledge, but it just pulls itself. You see its head, like it's still in the process of trying to pull itself up.
You know, if only that 1 and that 20 were reversed.
I didn't mean to roll that. That's the wrong one.
Good damage rolls.
Very good damage rolls.
Hell yeah, man. That shit is mean.
Very good damage rolls.
So
Well,
how it
I
works
blew
is
all
the
of
first
my
one-
inspiration out.
the first one is 10 force and 6 necrotic, and the second one is 15 force and 1 necrotic, right?
Yep.
Yes. So you see this blast. One hits, the other, one hits, pushes back, the other goes to hit it, but it's still rocking and reeling, so the blast missed. The second one hits and pushes it over to the edge, but it catches on and starts to pull itself back up. Do you move at all?
Already moved.
Okay. And with that, Quincy.
No, that's not going to work. That's okay. Alright, I just won't move. I'm going to go ahead and burn a bonus action and a Bardic Inspiration and give a D8 to Adonaros. And then I'm going to use Lightning Bolt.
All right, go ahead and cast your lightning bolt.
Fuck. Even with advantage, it's gonna take half damage, I think, or is it? I forget how it works completely off the top of my head.
It only made it 10, so it failed. So just now hit it with the roll, and it'll take full damage too, unless it's got resistance.
25.
No, full damage.
All right. So Quincy lets out this bolt of lightning. The electrical energy, the arcs just dance around the surface of the stone floor, striking it in the face. You see parts of the creature just start to get chipped away, almost like ash blowing in the wind. But then you start to see those black wisps of smoke come back and reform on its face. And it looks over at you, towards you, Quincy. Just...
I'd like to mention, Dave, that every spell, like Ray of Frost, Lightning Bolt, that's like a ranged attack, will come from my crossbow.
Fair. Alright, is Quincy doing anything else?
Aside from the D8 that goes to Adonaros, no.
Okay. Adonaros.
Excellent, sir. I will cast Dispel Magic on it.
Okay.
So... yeah. Anything a third or spell of third or lower ends for each spell fourth or higher, make an ability check. Does it do anything?
So you hit it with that, and so far what you can tell on there, I mean, it can't really move, so you're not really seeing it, move at an accelerated rate.
Yeah.
So you're not sure what effect that had on it.
So if it did have effects, none of them were fourth level or higher.
Haste is third level, isn't it?
Yes. But the thing is...
Then it should not have to make a roll.
No, if it had something else we don't know about, but it was higher than third, I would
Right.
still have to make an ability check.
Correct, and you don't have to make an ability check.
Okay. And then I will move slightly. That's my turn.
Okay. Tal'Dorei, it's your
Okay,
turn.
so is it still hanging off the bridge?
Oh yeah, it's still hanging off, but it looks like it'll be pulling itself up next turn.
All right. So go here, and then I'm gonna try to kick it off the bridge. Like,
That's okay.
All right.
So you're attempting a shove maneuver.
I guess so. Yeah.
essentially. All right, so we're gonna make an opposed athletics here. So go ahead and make roll your athletics.
14.
Okay.
Are gnomes considered small in 5e?
Yes.
Yes.
He cannot shove it. That's more than one size bigger.
Okay, well then. So instead of that, I'm just gonna move here, and I'm going to remain defensive fighting.
All right.
Sorry, man. I'm not trying to cut you off at the knee, but
Oh yeah, no, that's fine.
So let's see.
Just hearing that battle music ramp up.
All right.
I will just continue to dodge tank.
All right. Well, you're gonna get an attack of opportunity as it pulls itself up, and it's gonna move past you. But when it pulls itself up, the first thing you notice again is whatever it did before to trigger that hasted movement, that accelerated movement. It is doing that again, and it is moving past you, going all the way to Quincy.
And it,
Hi.
again, to verify, is not casting a spell.
That is correct.
Okay, so since I was fighting defensively, I would have. No, wait, no, it would. Never mind.
Yeah, you just make an regular attack roll. Against
Yeah. I was gonna be like, Yeah. Okay.
Big boy isn't happy with me.
He shot him in the face with a lightning bolt.
He's a dark warrior. What the fuck? What'd you think I was gonna do?
Give him milk and cookies? I don't know. Not just shoot a
hug
lightning
it
bolt
out,
in his
man.
face.
Hug it out.
Wait. God. So I. What do I do again for that? Or...
Well, all right. So you just attacked him and you missed. So that was your attack of opportunity on him as he walked past you.
Okay.
So this long, lank figure just kind of steps over you as he does. You slash out with your blade. It makes contact with its whatever flesh that it has here. It's not even like flesh. It's such a hard material. Your blade doesn't even penetrate. It just kind of scrapes along the sides. It almost sounds like your blade's pressing against hard stone or metal. But yet all you see is this shadowy like sinew as it moves past you. And when it does, it walks over at Quincy with the glowing the bow, and swings out once on Quincy and misses.
Oh, thank the gods!
Swings out twice on Quincy and misses. Swings out the third
Holy
time
shit.
on Quincy and hit on that last one. Now for this,
I'll react and shield her with the ward. She's within range.
How much temporary hit points is that?
now don't you have to cast a spell for that to go in effect on her?
Yeah, I have mage armor up.
Right, but it's when you cast the spell you get to do it. You don't do it as a reaction.
No, you move the ward as a reaction. The ward has hit points when you first cast any spell of abjuration tool at all for the day. So when you cast mage armor earlier,
You're moving it as the reaction.
Yes.
Okay.
So what does Mage Armor do again?
Well, you don't have the mage
No,
armor.
here's what happens. Here's how it works. After a long rest, the first abjuration spell he casts causes his ward to come into being, and it comes into being with 15 hit points right now. And then as a reaction, when someone within 30 feet of him is attacked, he can move the ward from himself to them and let it absorb some damage.
All right,
and then
so-
when he casts more... Yeah, never mind.
All right, but Quincy's got a shield here. So she would take 10 points of damage.
Or it absorbs it all.
Okay, but Quincy still needs to make a Constitution saving throw.
12.
Okay, so Quincy, as you get hit by that, you are slowed.
Haste and slow. That's a fun effect. Pray tell, remind me, what does slow do?
So you don't get your full allotment of actions on slow,
And you move real slow.
and your movement's reduced.
I don't get my full assortment of actions. Do I still get an attack?
So let me read it to you verbatim here, just so there's no confusion.
Thank you.
Okay, your speed is halved, -2 to AC and dexterity saving throws. You can't use reactions. You can either use an action or a bonus action, but not both. Regardless of any of your magical abilities, magical items, natural abilities, and you can't make more than one melee or range attack during your turn.
Okay. Thank you very much. Is there any way to put that on the combat tracker or nay?
I believe so. When it's your turn, I want to move it off of Katsu here. So when it goes to your turn, I believe I can add if it's on there. Cursed, deafened, frightened. No, I don't see.
Yeah, give the ward 10 wounds, Dave.
Should be on there. All right, why is it going straight to Katsu? Go to Katsu. There we go. Katsu.
Okay. This wasn't going the way I planned at all.
Reposition, rethink.
What?
Reposition and rethink.
I don't know what you're saying.
This is the echo.
Yeah.
Put me on mute on Discord, and then you could just hear me through Dave.
Dave, do you have push to talk on?
No.
That might help.
Dave has too many windows for push to talk.
He can't have it on, dude, for the stream.
I mean,
Just do what I said, and you'll only have to deal with echo for yourself.
alright, I think I got it now. Alright, so let's just pump damage into this asshole.
Well, you do hit it with your Eldritch Blast.
That's what you do, Katsu. Just beat its ass, man.
So close to a crit.
So you had 19.
That's not bad damage, still.
So technically, it's moved.
It's
5
still
feet
31
north.
damage.
Isn't it pushed north?
I don't think I can push it northeast again, so I'll just slam it repeatedly into the column.
All right, so blast after blast hits this thing. As it does, each shot just knocks it reeling into that stone, causing cracks and bits of flagstone to fly out. As each shot that you do that with, you also see more of these black wisps just kind of leave its frame. Some of the frames start to actually crack and not actually reform, as you saw when it took a lightning bolt to the face. What else do you do, Katsu?
Oh, I don't think I can do anything else, at least.
Okay. All right, Quincy,
All right.
it is your turn.
I am also slowed. It's going to be fun. It is half movement speed when I'm under slow, right?
That is correct.
It's going to get an attack of opportunity.
All right. Let's see here.
Just so you know, Quincy, if you stay in melee range, then I can get a sneak attack on it on my turn.
Just so you know, I am not making melee. Oh, God!
Should have stayed in melee range.
Cutting words isn't going to fix that.
Oh my.
I can't ward you because I already did it this turn.
Yep, you already used those reaction.
All right. So as Quincy
I
moves,
have healing potions.
her slow movement, almost like she's trudging through an invisible mire, caused her to leave an opening for this thing to just hit her directly in the spine. Her body just kind of arches, her back just arches as the blow hits. She staggers forward. Ooh.
Do I have that backup character right here? Yes, I do. Okay, we're good. All right, and so after having to recover from that, she is going to use another lightning bolt. It still fails. And that was a much better roll. My crossbow is physically sparking at this point.
That is a much better shot. So you turn around and fire at this thing again, just point blank with the lightning bolts. And as you do so, again, you see more of the crackling energy come up from the bolt, as it, from the floor to the actual physical bolt. Just all these sparks kind of trail out like little splinters. It hits this thing dead center in the chest. You see it just kind of teeter a little bit back into the stone structure, as the stone itself behind it also has more of that crackling energy just dancing around it. Telrin, you almost have to kind of shade your eyes and face just from the sparks flying from the lightning bolt that was just cast. All right, and I believe that ends Quincy's turn here. Adanaros.
Scorching Ray.
You sound so fascinated by casting that spell.
This thing is disturbing. Yeah, here we go.
Don't forget, you also have Bardic
Oh,
Inspiration.
that last one.
You also have Bardic Inspiration to use on either of the other two.
Okay, I'll try for the second one. That's a D8, right?
It is a D8, yes.
Well, let me roll the crit damage first.
Yeah, roll the crit
Yeah, go
damage
for it.
first.
10 fire.
Okay.
Does a 21 hit it?
Yes, total will hit.
5 more fire.
All right. Let's make sure that's applied there. So yeah, things now been rocked at that. As the lightning bolt just kind of weakened it up a bit more, some of the surface now, instead of being these moving, almost black vapor trails, are now solidified. The lightning bolt kind of made some cracks in it. You just punched a hole into it. Now there's bits of interior where more of the smoke just starts to kind of billow out from this thing. Its eyes, the fire in the eyes actually are flaring up even more. You see more of the inside of the skull here, or what would be the cranium, with more flames inside. Just, again, still focused on Quincy.
Yep, and then I moved, and that's my turn.
All right.
Okay.
Darren, quick, use provoke.
Alright, so I'm gonna come up here, and I'm gonna stab it again. 22.
Okay.
Four damage. Did nothing.
Or 0.
Yep. Then I'm going to use my second attack from dual wielding. Missed.
See, it's your first strike on it. You go to stab it, and it's almost as if the blade, it goes to pierce into it, but the shadows just kind of form around the blade. It's not even creating a lasting wound into it.
All right then.
Tell me, Dave, what is its attack modifier? Like, to the damage it does?
What, this thing?
Mm-hmm.
The type.
If it is a plus, if it is a +4, no matter if it hits me, period, then I'm down.
All right. Well, we need to see.
Well, I get an opportunity attack, right?
That is true. Go ahead and make your opportunity attack. That happens before it does an action.
Miss again.
Yeah, no, I'm down.
Okay. And now it's going to move over towards Katsu. And it'll miss. And as a bonus, it's going to make a third.
I'm going to activate one of my
Entropic Ward.
Tiefling heritage things. Hellish.
All right. Wow, really?
Still takes half damage, right?
I know, but just 20 and 20.
You hit yourself, bro.
Yeah, you did. Well, no,
Did
no,
I?
that applied to that. It applied the damage to him.
It should have applied half, though. It should have took half that damage.
All right, and I need you to make a Constitution saving throw.
Yeah.
So, as it strikes you, you feel this substance just kind of enter your body, and your limbs start to feel like they're filled with lead. Your movements are just slowed. The whole world just kind of slows down around you, kind of foggy-headed with it. But that ends its turn here. Katsu, it is your turn.
I'm looking up slow to see what it does.
You move at half your speed. You can make one attack. You can do an attack action or a bonus action, not both. And you can't take reactions. And you get a -2 AC and a -2 your dexterity saving throws.
Well, Fuck it, I guess. Eldritch Blast.
Now, you can do it right next to it.
I have one action.
You can still take a movement and your action.
Yep.
Right.
Yep.
Now, because if you move away, it's going to get attack of opportunity on you. If you stay there, you're going to have disadvantage on your attacks because it's a ranged attack, and you're in melee with it.
If you
Yeah,
have disadvantage on
fuck
your
it, I'll
first
take
hit
a-
it anyway, you'll push it out of range, and then your second hit won't have disadvantage. If that
He can't take a
I'm,
second hit.
I'm moving away.
Eldritch Blast does automatic 2 in 1 attack.
Does it?
You only
Yeah, it
get
has
one
nothing to
attack
do with
off
his action
per
economy.
the slow spell.
It
effects.
doesn't have anything to do with his action economy. It's part of the spell
It is part of the
because
spell.
of his level. It's not extra.
Regardless of the creature's abilities, magic, it can't make more than one melee or ranged attack during its turn.
I understand that. I'm saying both bolts are considered one attack, is what I'm, because the Eldritch Blast is made that way.
All right, let's resolve the attack of opportunity here first. All right, go ahead and make your ranged attack with the Eldritch Blast.
Why does it... That wasn't...
All right, so you hit with the Eldritch Blast.
24 to hit for people listening.
Oh!
Oh boy. Okay.
So I wasn't arguing the point because it potentially didn't matter. Either he was going to drop Katsu or Katsu was going to drop it.
I have hit points. It's what I'm using to, help with my low AC.
All right. So as Katsu moves away, gets struck by this thing, you spin around, launch your Eldritch Blast into this thing's back. As you do so, you see it get pushed forward. As it hits the pillar, it just breaks up into these various bits of smoke, just starts swirling around until eventually they just kind of blow up into the wind that's within this chasm. Just hear the chains above you
Okay.
stop rattling.
And then Quincy's turn. Death saving throw.
Yep. Success.
Sweet.
I can pour a potion down his throat or something.
Well, Adonaros goes over until that happens.
Because it's still technically combat rounds.
And
That's
tries
why.
to do a medicine check to stay alive.
All right. Go ahead and roll that.
Nope.
Hey, at least it wasn't a nat 1. You didn't put a scalpel in my eye.
but you do see him trying to like get a bandage around, and all of a sudden, like
I don't
this
see
big
shit.
Well, everybody else sees this big spurt of blood just kind of squirt out. It's like, oh, he obviously did something he wasn't supposed to. So, all right, now, Katsu, you can go over there and give Quincy a potion.
I'll pour a potion
How
down
much
Quincy's
is the
throat.
potion?
The regular ones would be 2d4 plus 2.
Is he using
Does the
regular?
slow effect end on Katsu when the creature dies?
Yes.
Okay, good.
Okay, so 8 to me.
All right. So you have you should have 8 hit points here.
Physician, heal thyself.
There you go. All right. Let's get rid of that and the unconsciousness.
And you said the
My vision is completely busy. And I look around, I'm like stumbling, don't get up.
You find out the healing potion was really tequila.
Hey, that's still a healing potion.
Burn out now. You said the bodies quit moving?
Yes.
Madam Quincy, you need medical assistance.
I can help. I can heal myself.
You looked pretty dead there for a second.
Friend Katsu needs medical assistance as well.
This is to me, and then I'll give one to Katsu.
Should we take a short rest or something?
There you go, Katsu.
Thank you.
Telrin, do you hear a voice ask you a riddle?
There's no voices being
Not
spoken right now.
currently.
And none of the bodies are moved.
That's correct.
I'm guessing it's an either or. Either guess the riddle or don't die. That's either counts as success.
All right.
Do we want to take a short rest? I know Katsu threw out the idea.
It's up to y'all. If y'all think that's a good idea, Alan won't object to it.
I see. Why not?
Well, he will only say one thing before y'all decide to take the risk. We have no idea if that space of time will reactivate this mystical trap or not. But it's a risk we may have to take.
I have one spell slot left, so I can go on, I guess.
I can go on because short rest doesn't give me spell slots back.
Yeah, but short rest would let you spend hit die.
Yeah, I'm fully aware of that. I'm fine.
Nah, I didn't get
So
hit
what?
at all or do anything.
Do what?
Nothing. Just the ineffectual.
Well, I could test a theory real fast if y'all are willing.
That depends. Are we going to have to fight that thing again?
Well, since the bodies stopped moving and there's no further voice asking us riddles, it may be safe to proceed to the other side.
It's likely.
I tentatively fly out onto the bridge on the room.
Okay, you fly up to there.
Does anything happen?
Nope.
Still nothing?
Still nothing.
Alright, jump on.
I will jump on.
Boop, I'll ferry Quincy across.
Just cross.
All right. So,
Do I successfully get her to the other side?
well, yes, but something happens.
Oh, okay.
So, you get about here, about halfway on the bridge. And when you do so, you hear a voice, familiar voice, say, "No, you will not get away. You are mine." And you hear the sounds of something wet slithering, moving.
why
He's
wanna
taking
let
me
me-
away.
Yeah, why won't let me move off the map? I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
We hear something wet slithering.
Yes, coming from
It
down
was
below.
in that area, right?
Yep.
Okay.
Coming ahead of us.
No, coming from below.
Oh. So I say we should run.
I'm going to take one of my arrows, my bolts actually, and I'm going to cast light on the bolt itself and shoot it down.
Okay. As you shoot it down, and in about 40 feet, it hits one of the bodies. Just, in fact, I actually have a sound effect for that now. And you see it stick out. You see this black and purplish tentacle wrap around it, snap it, as before it encompasses the bits of the arrow, snuffing the light out. You see what looks to be hundreds of these tentacles slowly coming up from the bodies.
We need to move now.
Okay.
All right.
Go.
Haul ass, people. Double moves.
You keep that fucking Cthulhu shit to yourselves.
I don't know. Katsu maybe try to take notes.
Katsu, don't do this.
This is not. You're not a schoolgirl.
Hey, Katsu, maybe of the
Double move gets me to there.
the branch, don't knock it till you try it. So he summons it a lot.
I'm lost. What did I miss?
There's tentacles under the bridge that are currently rising up.
Yeah, we got halfway across, and
Oh,
the
fun.
voice that asked the riddle said, "No, you will not get away." And then Quincy shot a lit arrow down off the chasm, and tentacles grabbed it and snapped it, and it's writhing with tentacles.
All right. So as y'all are moving across the bridge, on the other side of the bridge, you see what looks to be part of a stone wall leading into another smaller chamber. Inside of that chamber, there appears to be a stoned chute with a ladder going up.
On the other end of the bridge.
There's a chamber on the other end of the bridge, and in that chamber, there's a stone chute that looks like there's a ladder from the floor leading into the chute.
Awesome. That's all, buddy.
Do we need to use it since we're flying?
Katsu, you might want to haul ass, dude.
Well, all right. So who's the first on the ladder?
Was I taken across with the broom?
No,
Quincy
because
was.
No.
the only one who was me because we got halfway across before this started.
So Telrin just started running with his little gnomish legs.
Katsu will do the same.
With not no much legs.
This is one of those ironic things when the gnome, because he's a rogue, can move faster than everybody else.
I have
He can
triple.
do dash
Well,
as a
yeah, that's
bonus.
why he's saying. That's exactly why he's pointing that out.
Yeah, you can haul ass, dude.
Indeed. So, but again, who's the first on the ladder?
Do we need to use the
not
ladder,
me.
Hadanaris?
Well, you won't be
Yeah,
able to use
yeah,
the
I'm
broom.
staying on the broom with
The
you.
broom will not fit on the chute with this. You will have to physically actually climb.
I guess I'm the first on the ladder. Probably the first one there.
Shouldn't you? Well, you are the fastest. Shouldn't you like do the rogue thing and look for traps and stuff?
Yeah, let's do that.
All right. Make a investigation check as the slurping noises start getting louder over the chasm.
While he's doing
Well-
that, I'm gonna.
Natural one. Okay, I am confident that I have no idea if there are any traps.
24, Dave.
So, as far as you both can tell, everything looks fine on this ladder.
I'm gonna shoot another bolt of light down to see how much farther the area have gotten.
You shoot down where?
Into the little ravine.
As you fly over it?
Yes.
Okay, as you fly over it, they're still climbing up.
No, how much farther up are they from what I can see from the light arrow before it gets consumed?
Oh, they're about 10 feet from the surface of it.
Oh! We
So
did a
that
whole
time,
house now.
that span that you moved across the bridge, they went
Go
up
on
30
up the
feet.
chute, dude. Go on up, Tilrin.
And by go up, he means go the fuck up now.
Yeah, no,
And before you could say that again to him, there is no gnome there. You just hear a little clink, 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 clink as he's climbing the ladder.
All right, Quincy, go.
Alright, Quincy will hop off the broom and go up the ladder.
No, you will not get away.
Go, Katsu.
Katsu goes.
And as Katsu starts going up,
I cast
start-
protection from evil and good on myself.
you start to see for the threshold of the room here, the tentacles starting to fill into the chamber. They're starting to enter in. As Katsu, climbs up into the stone chute.
Can I cast protection from evil and good on myself as my friends are going up the chute?
Yes. So, you cast that on you, and again, you just start to see these things start to enter the chamber. And as you all start climbing up the chute here, let's get you on to...
This room above us, is there anything we can use to block the chute once we get up?
Well, I'm about to go over that.
Okay, fun.
So then I proceed last up the chute.
Yes. So, as you go up into the chute here, you start climbing up about, a good 50 feet. And it starts to widen out near the top there, about the basin. And as you start jumping over this, you see a much brighter light through this area it's a little circular chamber, but it opens up into not a very long, but a wide chamber. And beyond it, there's a hallway that opens up to a very bright chamber, almost like flashes of light going there. I'm pulling up the map here so you can actually see all this wonderment. Now, this is a bigger map.
Take 2 points of damage off the ward, please.
Will do. Give me one moment here.
I see treasure!
The very
Well, we did
I
bottom.
see
search them.
tentacle.
Yes, there are indeed tentacles.
Well,
So
I
that's-
guess we're not going back that way.
They
Probably
came up
not.
from behind ourselves.
Yeah, so as you're still traveling up, the tentacles are traveling up the tunnel itself. And just when you thought it's safe, like at the top, they're still climbing up. And then when you just kind of realize that, you back up and you see them just kind of reach out of the well and start whipping around the room, flailing, like they finally reached their limit trying to grab onto you.
Just for shits and giggles. I am out of range, right? Of their grab?
Yeah, where those little doorways are at the bottom is about as far as they can go, and they're trying to get you.
Ray of Frost.
All right.
I know what that is.
Okay. So
I'm gonna Ray of Frost. He's gonna use a fireball. Let's do it.
No, maybe we shouldn't be blowing our spells on the tentacles that...
Ray of Frost is a cantrip.
Okay, you're fine, but...
I will actually be doing that, by the way. Do you want me to actually roll, or is there just so many there that's gonna hit something?
Yeah, I mean, you can roll the hit on it, but go ahead and see if you can hit it. You know, there's a mass of them. They're still whipping and flailing about.
19.
Okay, well, you do manage to hit one of them. Roll your damage.
9. Not bad, actually.
All right. See, this will actually do that.
The crossbow frosts over as it fires off the ray.
Well, it kind of freezes over the tentacle, but the frost starts to, dissipate as the new tentacles are just flailing and writhing around. There's probably about 100 or so of those things in here still trying to flail and get you. Whatever that entity was, it wants you. It was not lying when it said it wanted you. Apparently, it was not appeased.
Jeez, I wonder why we beat up its warrior.
Moving templates around.
Just gonna get ready.
Well, observing it, though, it can't reach us.
Yes, you seem to be safe from the tentacles. At least as long as you don't go
Okay.
past those doorways.
All right, that's good to know.
I'm gonna take a step back. Is there a wall behind me? Like a pillar? Or are these tiles?
Those are tiles. The pillars are the little round circular bits here. Just making sure our chat can see all this wonderful things.
What do the tiles display?
It's like...
The tiles display various elemental states, though the diamonds in the center seem to be showing like lightning.
Well, I'm going to look around, so you want a perception check from where we are now?
So what are you looking for precisely? Just looking around the room in
I'm
general?
just looking at the surroundings.
Okay, yeah, make a perception.
16.
All right, pretty much the same thing here. The darker tiles depict various elemental effects, be it some of them stone, some of them fire, some of them water, but the diamonds depict like lightning.
Just out of curiosity, can I investigate the tiles that are different and see if they are movable or look like they could move
Sure can.
without actually touching on them and stuff?
Yes. And in case you're wondering, yes, those are giant flaming bull statues.
I got a 20 on investigation.
So, as you're kind of poking and prodding by the tiles here, they don't seem to be movable. At least the things on the floor, they're actually there, be it decoration or whatnot. They're not anything mechanical or a trigger plate that you can tell.
Okay. Just for safety, I will avoid the diamond-shaped ones, if at all possible.
Okay.
Giant flaming bull statues.
Mm-hmm.
Are they actually on fire?
Yes.
Wow.
Seems to be where what's keeping this place warm too.
He says fascinating, and then pulls out his book.
All
And
right.
he wants to draw this room here.
While
I'll
he
make an
does that,
arcana
as Quincy. Oh, wait, go on.
Can I make an arcana check to determine what those things might be or anything like that?
You could if you get a closer look at one. Because right where you're at, they just look like, giant bull statues.
Don't do it, it's a trap.
Okay. How about broom? And fly up and...
All right,
How
Quincy.
tall is
As
the
you're-
ceiling?
As Quincy's moving over there, Quincy, I'm going to need you to make a dexterity saving throw, please.
So that's what I was about to say. I was looking out for traps.
Well, you just stepped over one.
Yeah, I know. Next save.
Yep.
That is a 10.
All right. So you take 17 points of fire damage as both of the bowls snort out jets of flame that encompass the entire hall in between those lines of pillars.
Oh boy.
You want to know what that just did, Dave?
Are you down?
I am down.
Good job. Good job.
All right. So, on that note, you see Quincy go up beyond the set as Adanaros is going closer to one of the statues, like, taking notes and trying to investigate a little closer. Quincy just saunters in between the room there, and both of them just let out this... The snouts just bellow out almost like twin flamethrowers as they pierce down the hallway. She looks behind her to one of them, looks at the other one just as the flames sandwich her. And as they dissipate, you see a flaming Quincy on the floor.
Flaming Quincy, it's medium rare.
Double entendre.
For fuck's sake.
God damn it.
I shouldn't have
I'm
moved
sure
up that far. I was looking out for traps, but I moved up
I'm
just
sure.
too far.
Well, it was the diamond itself, bro. Anyway, I'm sure Adanaros notices.
Yeah, he just
The statue.
whoa.
He sees the flame shoot out, and then looks back and goes, "Oh shit!"
And you could feel the intense heat from it because you're only about 10 feet away from where the jet of flame came through. Because those flames, each of the jets are about 10 feet wide.
Wow.
I could make it to him with another potion, but the flames may go off again.
Avoid the diamond in the floor. Is what Adanaros yells.
Alright, so I'm going to advance towards Quincy while checking for traps.
Are we still in initiative order or no?
Well, we're going to do just a turn-by-turn thing because we're going to have to do saves for Quincy. So when Telrin goes, then I'm going to let you go, Katsu go, and then Quincy will have to make a death save if they don't get her with that. All right. So you're moving in the center there?
Yes.
He avoided the diamond, Dave.
I know that. But jets of flame are going off again.
Ah!
So,
Right.
dexterity saving throw.
22.
All right, so
This
you
is-
only take 6 points of fire damage. But Quincy gets a
Fails
fail.
Automatic fail.
Automatic fail.
Oh,
That is correct.
good job.
That's what I was afraid of.
So I just marked the auto fail on your sheet there. But you managed to just kind of dodge from the flames there. So again, you're just taking 6 fire. But you can keep moving and do whatever you want. They just triggered at one time as you're moving over that way.
Okay. Can I try to drag Quincy back? And if I do that, is it going to activate the fire again?
You don't know if
Drag
it'll
him to the
activate
other
it.
side.
Yeah, if anything, you should drag her north out of there.
Okay.
All right, make an athletics check since you're going to try to drag her body.
I'm only 90 pounds. Oh, well, you're small.
You can
yeah.
do it.
15.
Oh yeah, you grab her one arm, one leg, and just pull her up there.
Don't go too far, dude.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, no. Just right here.
Okay, so how tall is the ceiling here, Dave?
The ceiling in this part of the room here is about a good 30 feet.
Okay, so after seeing the trap triggered twice with my analytical mind, are the snorts aimed angled toward the floor at the center of the room?
They appear to be, yes. But the balls of flame seem to be their biggest points near the center. So those actually will reach closer to the ceiling near the center of the room. So where those tiles are at, those different color tiles, that's where they reach higher at. So that's where the balls of flame actually coalesce.
So how tall are these bull statues themselves?
Bull statues themselves, easily 20 feet.
Excellent. So while on the broom, I will attempt. Goodbye, guys. I'll fly under their face like this direction. Does anything happen?
You're flying under the face?
Yeah, where if it shot off, it would go above me.
Okay. So you go under face. You're still going to need a dexterity saving throw on this, just from some of the heat with that.
Okay.
But it does trigger.
All right.
But I'll give you advantage on it since you're on the broom here.
So it's not a trigger pressure plate, it's sight.
Nope.
What is it?
Yeah, it's movement at all in between their line of sight, yeah.
Yeah. It's line of sight, or it's motion detection.
Nope, fail.
Okay. Well, enjoy your one bit of fire damage.
You lucky bitch. I hate you.
Well, that's the ward. It takes one more. It's back to 9 wounds. I wish you could give me control so I could do that.
I gave you control for it. I don't know why it's not giving you any further control, but I've already given you control of it.
It's so weird. It keeps disappearing when I move it from the center of the screen.
Is it underneath something?
No, sir. It vanishes completely.
Can you click on the combat tracker?
No.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know why it's not doing that, but I'll just have to modify it. It's not that big of a deal. All right. So, yeah, you fly underneath it. It goes off. You get a little bit burn from the heat and the flames from by where the snouts are at, but other than that, you're fine.
Katsu. Apparently it's going to trigger passing underneath him, but that was less painful than the other two suffered.
I'll use my second spell slot. Misty Step.
Fuck this.
He's like, this is bullshit.
Why couldn't each one of you do this? Come on.
Because I'm not a wizard.
He's not a wizard either.
He's a warlock. It's not. I fucked up. I'm sorry.
I don't have that spell, is why I didn't do it.
Well, maybe you should worship and love death like he does, and maybe you'll get it.
Okay, so we need to triage Quincy, so she doesn't die. So,
is Quincy alive?
I'm alive.
Quincy is dying. In fact,
I'll pour
Quincy,
another potion down his throat.
Well, before you do that, we're gonna have Quincy make a death saving throw because Quincy
That's a
may
success.
Okay, so it could be an auto fail, it could be a crit failure or a crit success. That's why I was asking on that. All right, so you're gonna pour another potion. I believe you had what, 5? I think is what you had purchased. Why is it not pulling up your sheet? Yeah. So, all right. So you're using another potion. 2d4 plus 2.
I'm sorry, Katsu.
This is probably part of the reason why he bought those.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah, I just removed one of
Let
them.
me mark it.
I just removed one for you. I'll let you do that in the future if you. I thought you didn't, forgot about that.
I removed it earlier.
Yeah, I saw that. I saw the 4. All right, so you force feed Quincy another potion of healing. The burns start to go away, but Quincy, you smell. It smells like bacon. Then you realize that's
I'm
you.
human.
I am the bacon.
Yeah, actually, dude, humans smell like pork and cooked. Yeah.
Yeah,
so.
cannibals call humans like long pig or something like that.
Really? I did not know
Yeah.
this. Huh. I smell delicious.
Don't eat yourself. It.
Now might be the time to take that short rest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
Would be
forget. Can you only
appreciated.
use 1 hit die for a short rest?
No, you can use as many as you have, but you only recover half on a long rest.
Okay, so as you start to try to do this short rest here, in the chamber beyond, you see 4 kind of, you see 4 little glowing pedestals of light with crackling energy around them. Higher up, there's some kind of swirling energy vortexes on elevated platforms. But in the center, still further elevated beyond, there's some kind of force shell or some kind of unusual barrier. Just spherical, swirling different colors. But beyond it is what really catches your sight is there are these globes that have electrical arcs going across the room. And, well, there's things just from the various sparks and the lightings that flash from all these electric arcs. You see glints of metal, some gold, some silver, and other colors. But above that swirling kind of purplish magical barrier right before those electrical fields, there's a little pillar of light. And you saw this when you were outside first. This looks like it's focused here just to make it almost amplify it, just to give it that presence. And as you look up, you see this being fly downwards, also encased in a spherical, almost shell. Semi-transparent, but crackling with bits of energy. And it's a she. Has short, dark, cropped hair, very long, flowing white robes, 4 sets of white feathered wings, and just kind of hovers down. As she comes down, she's just hovering above the center of the room, seeing you 4 down the other way.
Adonaro said, "Fascinating," and pulls out his book.
When she gets about now, this chamber's much larger, but when she gets about 30 feet down, those other electrical charge pillars start to focus in on her sphere that's around her, and almost electrifies that as well as she begins to speak out to you.
Okay.
Who dares trespass in these most sacred chambers.
Can I roll an arcana for the dang dome in the center and then something to identify her?
Sure can.
Okay, so here's arcana for the dome. 18.
Okay. You're not that dome. It bears resemblance to some of the other magical protective shells. You know, you're not sure if it's like an anti-magic shell or maybe some kind of sphere of force or even a prismatic sphere. You need to be a little close to it, but it's definitely a high-level magic that created that.
Okay.
In fact, this whole place just screams of arcane talent.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Beyond our ability, in other words, yeah. Well, what we want
This
to
is
roll
way
identify the wing. Do what?
This is way above.
Yes, Telrin, this is above your pay grade. What do you want me to roll to identify the lady, Dave?
All right, so make a religion check for her.
15.
From what you can tell with her, I'll definitely, you know, extraplanar origins, but a lot of her appearance seems almost celestial to a point. I mean, everything just screams a celestial being. But, you know, from what you've seen so far in this place, what these people are about, it's really throwing you off.
Yeah, because it seems doubtful a celestial being would be with all this other evil shit.
Do you want to try the diplomatic approach? Considering two of us are wounded.
Oh, God.
Also running out of spell slots.
I am out of spell slots.
Completely?
You had one more, which is step.
I'm a warlock.
Alright. Don't have much of a choice then, do we?
Katsu will approach the lady.
Bardic Inspiration and Quincy will follow, but very slowly.
Try not to get yourself killed again.
So what are these other things, Dave? Can we see these swirling whirlwinds on the other side?
Yeah, those were the portals of energy.
Okay, and then the 4 glowing balls of electricity or whatever, or 6 total?
The
Or
ones
they
in the back, seem to be part of whatever that rear chamber is at. The ones in the center here are the ones that seem to be focusing around her own shell, almost giving it the same dancing, you know, lightning or energy effects off of it as well.
Okay, so I'll try Arcana to identify those. $11. I have no idea what the hell is happening here, my friends.
We have passed through the trials. We've come for someone.
Trials? No, no, no. You misunderstood. That was no trials she passed. In fact, the true trials have yet to be begun. You've come here seeking someone. Is it I that you seek? Is it the Great One that you seek? Tell me, what is it specifically that you seek?
We've come for someone that was taken from us. It's a death cult. There's nothing you can give me that I don't already have.
And you should understand that death takes from us all. That is not something we can control.
But there are greater forces in play right now.
Indeed.
If you die, there is no way you will meet death. He still manages to whisper in my ear. But even I, if I pass, I will not meet my beloved. We wish to leave with Newt, and for our troubles, that treasure you have behind you.
Way to diplomatically talk us into a fight for our lives.
Yeah, that's.
So
I mean, to be
thieves,
fair, it's
you
decided
be.
by the dice.
If one can thieve from other thieves, sure. Our main goal coming here was for Newt. Someone that you have stolen from us.
I doubt this being stole Newt, but they gave Newt to her, or to this place, I guess.
All right. Well, being threatened with that, I'd like everybody to roll initiative.
Yay.
Pretty.
As a note, remember you have 2 d8 at your disposal, Katsu. Have fun.
Well,
I have what?
Nice.
You have 2 bardic inspirations under your belt right now.
Okay.
That is not the greatest initiative.
No.
Surely not.
All right. Well, she is going to go, and she is going to. Let me see. Sure, it's all targeting everybody here.
Also, I'm still labeled as unconscious, so be careful.
Yeah, I'm taking that off here. I saw that one.
Each person can only have 1 bardic inspiration at a time, I think.
I don't believe that's the case. Now, it might be correct.
Yeah, one's only active at a time, but it's active for 10 minutes.
Yeah, it's active for 10. Okay, then.
So, but
I could use 1 for what I'm about to do, which is counterspell.
You still have the one I gave you earlier.
well, this isn't a spell.
Unless 10 minutes have passed.
As she, the orbs here that's going to be powering the shell that she's around just suddenly dissipate that energy, which fills the chamber, striking straight downward. And okay, I need that to select the right thing here. Why is it not selecting the save? Selects that. There we go. Alright. I think this would do this. Not sure. No. Alright. Alright, so it's not... Let me try double clicking that. There we go. Alright. So as the lightning kind of fills the chamber, looks like Quincy saved, Telrin failed, Adanaros failed, and Katsu saved.
All right, well,
That's a TPK.
it's been good, guys. So,
That was
who said
straight
the
up a
Katsu was the
TPK.
diplomatic one?
What the fuck?
Who said the Katsu was the diplomatic one?
He is.
A
He
power-
is flat out.
A power play worked on the ones above us.
So, was he just asleep the day they told you not to threaten celestial beings when you are severely injured?
To be fair, as well,
Because, you
Cassie
know,
didn't even get to roll any form of persuasion, intimidation, nothing. He got to roll nothing.
And he threatened her by saying to give the treasure out, so that's not really a persuasion. That's more of give me your fucking shit. It's not, can we please have your shit? That's, give us your fucking shit.
yeah, well,
67.
diplomatic.
Holy shit.
10d10.
then.
Oh, that was fun.
Good rule of thumb. Let's not act aggressively against the next incredibly powerful thing that will probably kill us. Let's not act aggressive against that one next time.
All right. So, with that, the ones that have fallen here that are dead, your souls are eaten by the great old ones, and the ones that are unconscious are sacrificed to the elder god that Arisi worships. Now, Arisi was the one that the succubus warned you about, that was a powerful demon that led this cult that she was hiding from. So, so Althea, Biladin, and oddly, and to my dismay, Mira is still alive. If only Mira could have been here to take that entire damage. So, with that, we're gonna...
Technically, he wouldn't be instant dead because the ward absorbed just enough for him to be dying like everybody else.
Fair.
Still sacrificed.
Yeah. And once you're sacrificed with it, the souls still go to the beyond, and they get trapped there where the elder gods...
Why are we even... Never mind. This is...
At least I can say one thing. No one died because of a mechanical dragon.
but that is going to be the goal of your next
No,
character.
I mean, I'm just saying I did my job better. Because,
maybe if you had mechanical dragons, maybe that would go on. You know, maybe that's the diversion that was needed. Just have these three mechanical dragons.
So, campaign over.
No. Still have 3 characters that are alive, but the compatriots are not here. So with this arc that's going to be concluded here, and we're going to begin the next stage here, there's going to be a little bit of downtime with that, as they're going to need to find some new compatriots, build a new troop.
Are we still live on the air?
Yes.
Can I ask why we're fighting beings of such power at level 6?
Actually, this is equivalent challenge rating for a hard encounter at your level for the creature.
Well, it kind of didn't look like that with that much damage.
That's
the instant TPK.
That was one of the abilities on it. Now, it is a recharged ability, but it is one of the abilities.
Well, Katsu's gone.
So, but yes, we will discuss here options for your other characters, and see what continues on for the rest of the troop here. So, until next time, happy gaming.